goes by the YouTube handle Masshole Report.
Stay away from me, lady! Stay away from me! Get this lady away from me! Get her away!
Man, that man's whole fucking report, dude, is such a fucking goof.
Okay, Peters!
What's your mission?
My mission right now is to keep you from harassing small children.
Or we can start asking you why you need a bigger bra than Kate does.
It's me, Kate. You know, Masshole Kate, Date of Your Existence Kate, Your Every Night Obsession Kate.
I targeted you because you're a pedophile. That's usually how that works.
She's just trolling him one way or the other.
I was the constitutional law scholar today, bitches.
It's like going to war with a fucking nuclear power that has lost its fucking mind.
I'm here to be a spectacle, not a role model. We're live. Check it out, guys. Sunday night, 9:19 p.m. So we were literally almost on time. It's a good call for me.
That's a record.
Yeah, it is. I mean, listen, I've been better at the punctuality lately, but it's difficult. And I just wanted to make sure, that everyone was here, because tonight, guys, we're gonna, there's been a controversy brewing since October 30th of 2021. Is that correct?
That's correct. 31st. Yep.
31st. I'm sorry. So Halloween of last year here. This sort of blows up around this individual, the independent First Amendment auditor. Since shortly thereafter, actually even maybe before, Ham Sandwich has been in our comments every single show without fail. Jeffrey Russell Sutton, a registered sex offender out of Pierce County, Washington, he has been really imploring us to look into this. And I feel like it's we need to look at this with fresh eyes, with an open mind, with an open heart, right? Because that's what we're here. We're really all about here at the Masshole Report, is just an open heart, an open mind, and transparency. So we do have independent First Amendment auditor here with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us to help us unravel this, as it were.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I wasn't actually familiar with your channel. Maybe that's where we should start here, just so we get a little bit of background, sort of, what we're dealing with here. So how long have you been around?
On YouTube or just out here?
On YouTube. On YouTube.
My channel's new, so I'm new at this. So it's only been up like maybe a year or a year and a half.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to pull you up right here, right now. But I was not very familiar with any of this myself. So let's check.
No, it's cool.
No. So you've been around for a year and a half?
Give or take.
Okay, yeah. So here you are here. Here's your channel.
So what do you do? Like, what is your thing?
I'm sorry, what?
What do you do? What are your...
I do First Amendment audits.
Of whom?
I'm sorry?
Of whom?
Oh, I can film you.
No, you can't film me, because I said don't.
I can film you. I'm in public, so watch it. Oh, that was weird.
Who do you audit?
I audit government, police, security, anywhere I can be in public, I can audit.
Like post offices, perhaps?
Child Protective Services. Child Protective Services.
CPS, anything that's state or government owned or tax paid, yes.
Okay, all right. So you've been auditing government buildings for about a year and a half now on YouTube. Again, so we're looking. I wasn't familiar with you. It looks like not many people are, because it looks like you got about 630 subscribers. So real operation here. So you kind of come onto the scene, and October of 2021, it is discovered that you are on the sex offender registry. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So how do you feel people responded to that information?
Well, it's nothing new with me. You got to understand, I've been dealing with this since 2009, so it's nothing new. It's not a surprise to me. But again, it's the lack of education on the individuals that don't know how this whole thing works or how it happened as a whole. So that's the problem that we're dealing with today, and I'm hoping I get a chance to explain that in more details.
Sure. So overall, would you say pretty negative reaction to the to the information that you are on the sex offender registry?
Yeah, I mean, I get the frustration and the how people feel about it as a whole, but on that same token, everybody needs to, like you said, have an open mind and understand that this can happen to the best of us. This was not planned. It's not like I sat there and went, what can I do today to screw my family over? You know, it's one of those things that honestly, mistakes happen, and I'm going to own up to the mistake.
Okay, so
Mistake.
when you say mistake, you mean so having child pornography on your computer was a mistake.
Yeah, how it started was I bought this computer off of Craigslist, and my dumbass didn't wipe it before I bought it. So I ended up paying the price for somebody else's mistake.
Okay.
So they didn't have dates on the images?
Wait, say when, Kate. I mean, I'm trying to hold back here.
Let's just go back to the beginning here, because that's sort of, so we're looking at your registration right here. You're registered in Pierce County, Washington, and then you're also registered in Florida as well, correct?
Well, that's because I used to live in Florida for 5 years. I no longer live in Florida, so the Florida laws over there do not apply to me. That's where everybody's getting the confusion. I live in Washington State, and I've been in Washington State basically all my life.
Okay, so this is your Washington State registration, right? Right here.
Can you make it bigger so I can see it, please?
Absolutely. No problem at all. So we pulled this up today, just to make sure that it was current and everything.
Oh, I see it now. Pierce County. Yeah, that is the right one, not Florida.
Okay, but the Florida one is still active, correct?
No, it shouldn't be on there. I don't live in Florida no more, so I don't know why it still comes up on there.
It's
Okay,
active as long as this one is active because he maintained address in that state.
Okay.
I don't. No. Let me correct you and say this is where it's getting confusion. I do not live in Florida, so that rule.
No, you did at one point, so that means there's a reasonable expectation you may return.
No. I'm never going to return to Florida.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm just saying. So when we look up your name here, and we go to the, I'm just doing this in real time, so we can all see that this is, accurate. So I've done this in real time now, and I'm going to.
Yeah, that's the Florida one, ma'am.
Yep. So it's still active as of today. It's still active. It's still
right.
active.
I'm in the midst of trying to take care of that, so that's not there anymore. I don't know why I keep calling up, but it is what it is.
Okay, but my point is that so that we're just clear with the facts here.
No, I got you.
That you're registered in both the state of Florida and the state of Washington for this crime, and the crime that you're registered for is a sex offense, possession, depictions of minor in sexual activity. Correct?
Yeah, in Pierce County. It did not happen in Florida, just for the record. It did not happen in Florida. It happened in Washington only.
It says that it happened in Washington, right above this.
State right there. See that?
Right. No, I know. I just want to make sure because there's a lot of people are getting that confused. It's Washington's crime, not Florida crime.
Okay, and you just registered there because you happened to move. So the registration.
Because I moved there and lived there for 5 years. Yes, ma'am.
Sure thing. Okay, great. So I'm glad that we cleared that up. And just so that we're very clear on that, because I want to give you the fairest shake possible here. It's important to me. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to show the Superior Court case here so that everybody can see that this is actually in Washington.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, you account of possession of depictions of minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. That's the charge that we're talking about. All right, so walk us through. How did we get to this charge?
Well, to make a long story short, I was doing a job doing security, and in the midst of my security job, I bought a laptop computer off of Craigslist to have in my vehicle as I was doing my job. No, and what happened was it was a used computer. It was not brand new. And I trusted the guy, and I paid like $50 for the computer. And then a robbery takes place during my security job. And the cops took my laptop to try to find evidence on the robbery. And the images and all of the other crap came up on the hard drive on my computer, unbeknownst to me.
Were you charged with the robbery?
Say that again?
Were you charged with the robbery?
That was part of the plea deal.
That wasn't my question. You made it sound like there was a robbery. Were you charged with the robbery? Were you suspected and charged and investigated for that robbery?
Oh, my bad. Yes, I misunderstood you. Yes.
Yeah, words are important. And then in the midst of that investigation, didn't they come across the material when they had a search warrant for that laptop and came across a material that made them stop, pause, and amend the search warrant and got a new warrant based on the material that the detective saw on the laptop?
Yes. Fortunately, the warrant, if I may speak on the warrant real quick, the warrant was a violation on my Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, sure.
No, let me explain. The computer was not supposed to be touched in that car until they got a search warrant for that laptop. They got the search warrant for the car, but not the laptop. The information obtained on that laptop was already gathered prior to the search warrant that you just spoke about. So there was a violation there.
Okay, but you're arguing what everyone else did wrong, and there's zero accountability here.
No. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out here. Okay, so you're stating that, and I just want to be clear, we're going to pull out the probable cause documentation in a minute, but I want to hear from you first so you get the fairest shake possible here. So you're stating that there was a laptop in the car, right? So this robbery happens. You are suspected of the robbery they are investigating.
Right. Go ahead.
So they what? They impound your car?
They impounded the car and left everything in the car and took me to the jail where this investigation was taking place.
Okay, so and what kind of car was that? Just so that
it was a retired police vehicle.
Retired, so like a Crown Vic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did it still have lights on it?
Nope. It did not.
Were any other charges along with associated with the robbery?
Yeah, they got me for robbery, impersonation of a police officer.
Right. Okay.
No, I got you.
Well, you're leaving some things out, but go ahead. I mean, I can bring them up as you leave them out. That's fine.
No, I mean, I'm not leaving them out deliberately. I'm just basically talking about the computer crime. I thought that's what this was about, but I get what you're saying.
Okay. Okay, so they they amend the search warrant, and they get the warrant, and then what happens after that?
Then they find the material on the laptop while I'm sitting in the jail. Okay,
yeah,
so
that would make sense. I mean, they're not gonna.
No, I get it. I'm just letting you know. You want to know, so I'm telling you. The laptop had to get a second search warrant because the mistake they made the first time. And I don't know if you have. Oh, you have my file. Okay, yep. There's a suppression of evidence file there that for some reason doesn't get talked about for some reason in that file. And if you can pull that up, I greatly appreciate it. That will tell you
what we have right now is what we have the docket. So I want to give credit where credit is due here and say that PK server is responsible for all of this documentation here that we have right now. This was a kind of a quick thing.
That's fine.
It was sort of I don't want to say on a whim, but I agreed to do this for my dear friend Ham Sandwich. And I wanted to make sure that we did it, but we're still sort of preliminary looking into this case to a certain extent. And I will say that only because I don't have your police report yet. So when I pull your police report, which I will be doing tomorrow, and thank God Washington is one of the more amicable public record states in this country. So I would assume that I will have that relatively quickly within, a day or two, generally speaking. I will have a better idea of some of the, sort of investigative protocol that occurred with this case. Things like how they authenticated images, what kind of digital footprint was here, what was applied for as far as warrants. Right now, what we do have is we have the docket. And we have your probable cause statement, and we have your plea agreement as well. Much better start than I thought we were going to have at this point in time. So shout out to PK for that. I really do appreciate that.
That's fine. I understand.
And, obviously we'll be revisiting this. So what I'm looking at here is it looks like they filed information in March 10th of 2009. They, submitted the affidavit, the probable cause, and they ordered a hearing all on the same day. So it looks like on the 18th of March, there was a receipt of discovery. They ordered another hearing shortly thereafter. So it looks like all the way in November is this motion to suppress, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to look at.
Okay. Well, there's several. There's one in November. There's also one in December.
Right. I did one, and then my attorney did one, but I didn't like how my attorney did it, so I did one my own.
Okay,
Was it
well,
Brand?
that's kind of odd because as it would be, you wouldn't be able to file anything on your own behalf. You'd have to go through your attorney. So presumably they both went through your attorney, correct?
I saw the motion. I saw the motion to suppress. It's standard. They violated Fourth Amendment right, didn't follow this, that, and the other, either police protocols or constitutional violations. Let me ask you this: was it granted or denied?
It didn't go in front of the judge because that's when I took the plea deal.
Yo, that's right.
Ooh,
You
we're
took a
getting
plea.
angry voices.
Yeah, we took a plea.
Huh?
Okay.
No, you're fine. So it looks like you it looks like you really didn't take a plea until June. So it looks like you took a plea deal in June. So that wasn't heard because it looked when I go back the motion
Right. No, it was not heard.
Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and pull that too. I'm
glad you're letting me say on that suppression because that's where the mess started right there with that suppression.
Well, it looks like they did issue an order on January 12th of 2010.
Because the detective was looking in my laptop before the search warrant was even issued for the car or for the laptop, because the lid wasn't even closed all the way down on the laptop, so they could see what everything was on there.
Then why did it say in the documents that when they came across the material in question that the detective asked for and secured an amendment to the search warrant to include the other material?
That's because they were covering up their mistake on the first one.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, it makes. I mean, we've heard these stories before, so yeah, it makes it.
Well, I'm not making up. The stuff's right there in front of you. You know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and there's no reason to really lie about this, right? Because we're gonna.
I have no need to.
Yeah, this is broadcast live. There's 731 people watching right now. As it's being broadcast, obviously still being recorded. So we're going to pull every document in this docket that is publicly available within the coming days, and I'm sure that what you're recounting with these motions to suppress not being heard and these search warrants not existing, that will be substantiated by the records, because otherwise you would be lying in front of 736 people.
Yeah. It's all there. It's all. That's why I'm encouraging you guys to do that. So that's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is obviously that would be
I have nothing to hide. I obviously have nothing to hide.
Right. You're here.
Well,
okay. So
nothing to
I
hide.
searched the computer. And actually, we can go to the. Let's see where we got this here.
On these notes, all this would make a whole lot more sense from a person who pled innocent or maintained their innocence the entire time, that they've done something wrong here, there, and open the case back up. We're talking to a guy who openly admitted to knowingly possessing minors in indecent acts of sexual conduct. I mean, he is in his own handwriting, signed with his own initials. So for me, it's very difficult, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying.
Again, I don't know if you understand how the plea system works, but you have to understand my attorney didn't do his job to get me cleared off these charges. They just told me to take a plea, and that's the best thing you can do. I didn't get a chance to fight my case. So, and of course, I got lied to by the prosecution and then the attorney I had. They didn't do their jobs. They failed miserably. So I was forced to take a plea.
Well, what I do understand, you're right. I
mean,
I don't understand everything, but what I do understand is that when you do take a plea and you go in front of the judge, they do ask you if you've been forced to take a plea, or do you feel like you're being represented properly? They go through extreme measures to make sure that they're having what having presented in front of them is what has actually happened. They don't just say, "Oh, thank you for the plea, buddy." All right.
Can I ask a question? How many images of cheese pizza were on your laptop?
I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Okay. Well, luckily we have that in front of us.
I don't remember, and I'm not saying that to be rude or disrespectful. I just don't remember.
Okay, we can certainly help you with that. So essentially this is what happens is, you're picked up on suspicion of this robbery, right? And they see the laptop, and they get a search warrant to search the laptop. Now at that point, what are they searching for?
Evidence for the robbery.
Okay. What kind of evidence?
of this robbery that I supposedly conducted, and they didn't find any of that, but they found the other crime.
No, what I'm asking is, what were they looking for? Were they looking for, did they suspect?
Oh, I'm sorry. Evidence. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. No, they were looking for evidence of the, what's it called? The purse that I supposedly robbed from this lady.
Okay, and they thought the purse was what, uploaded to the laptop?
Credit card. No. Credit cards and addresses and stuff of that nature.
Okay, all right. So, and maybe GPS information.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So they get the warrant for that and they're searching for that. And according to this probable cause statement that we have right here, is that large enough? It might not be.
It's tiny.
But okay. So it looks like, all right.
Take your time.
That's okay. I'm just looking at, so this is the declaration for, okay, so it looks like you were actually charged with the robbery as well, correct?
That was part, yes, that was part of the whole package deal. I had to plead to that, does that make sense? They all,
well, I don't think she's going to the deal just yet. She's talking about just the charges. Like she's going, portion by portion. Like she's just talking about when you were charged with this.
Yes, the robbery and the impersonation and the other charge are all right there. All three of them are right there.
Yeah, same day. Well,
okay, so I'm just looking over the year.
I want to say that the year
facts for the robbery case, and it looks like the victim here was evacuating horses because of flooding via horse trailer. She'd been driving on Springwood Drive. She said she was pulled over by a patrol car via blue and red lights. That an officer approached her car. The officer appeared to have a handgun holstered at his hip. Officer demanded her license, then punched her in the face and took her purse from the front seat of her truck, ran back to his patrol car and drove away. During the course of their investigation, they learned that you were a possible suspect, that you had recently acquired a police cruiser equipped with a spotlight. And that's accurate, right? As you said, it was a retired police car, right?
Yeah, I'm not denying that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we just want to be fair here. At the time, were you employed as a security guard?
I was.
Okay. And that a family member of yours told police that you might be pulling people over using your patrol car.
That's where it started.
Okay. All right. So, what family member was that?
I'm sorry. Say that again, ma'am.
What family member was that? Do you know?
My father.
Your father. Okay. So your father, and I remember reading somewhere else that your father had made some remarks that your security guard uniform kind of looked like a police uniform.
It was their company's security guard uniform, wasn't mine.
Okay, no, I understand that, but you were wearing it, and according to you, you had said that your father said that it looked like a police uniform, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, he said that. He said that to the police officer that responded, saying that I was impersonating a cop.
Okay, but I'm saying you had made statements to the police that your father didn't like your car or your uniform because he was
yes, ma'am. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
So these are your statements to the police, though, right? Just so that we're clear, that you said that your father. No. I'm just trying to be clear. Not bad at all. I need to be clear. We all need to be clear because that's what we're here for. It's just the facts. So your father had made statements to you that he was concerned that you had a retired police car and that you were wearing a uniform that looked like a police uniform, correct?
Yes.
Why would he be concerned with that, do you think?
Well, I'll just put it this way, short and sweet. My father and I do not have a relationship. We never see eye to eye, and he's nothing but a big troublemaker. That's all I can say about that. There's a lot of personal issues going on between me and my father, and right now it is what it is.
Kind of like when you sued the funeral home, right?
I didn't sue no funeral home.
No, that was a nursing home.
Nursing home. I'm sorry, nursing home.
No, I don't know where that came from.
Okay. All right. No, could be wrong. Okay. All right. So, all right. So that is the so at this point, that's what they're investigating. And then let's go to the excuse me. We're gonna go to the probable cause statement for the subsequent charges.
Okay.
For the images. Okay. Bear with me here. I got a few things here. So let's just make sure that all right, great. So here we have it here. We're gonna zoom this in and then pull it up. Okay. So let's share this. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. I just had it up too. All right.
I'm getting a lot of feedback somewhere, so I can barely hear you, ma'am.
Oh, are you getting is anyone getting feedback here?
No, you're clear here.
Okay. All right.
Clear.
I can hear you. I can just hear a loud sound in someone's mic.
All right, let's get rid of that one because that's not it. I keep pulling up the same document. That is frustrating. All right, maybe it's this one that we need. Let's try this one. All right, that's the plea right there. So we're gonna X that one out. Eventually, I'm gonna get this up. All right, Chrome. Let's see.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yep. All right. Nope, that's not the one either. Let's. Oh, you know what? It's because I wasn't opening it in the right. Great. Okay, now we're gonna get it. For some reason, my browser likes to separate things from email. All right. So they pull up this image. So essentially, this laptop that you have in your back seat here, just so that we can get ahead of this, has some child pornography on it. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. We should have that up now, right? Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead. All right. So it looks like, here we go. All right. So you were arrested on January 9th for robbery in the first degree and criminal impersonation for an event that occurred on January 7th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So when you were arrested, your vehicle containing a laptop was seized at the time. Okay?
Yes.
During the course of the robbery investigation, Detective Beerley obtained a search warrant for the defendant's computer to search for evidence related to the robbery. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The computer was sent to Lakewood Police Department for a forensic investigation.
Yes.
Examination, rather. On January 26th, 2009, Detective Sale. So now it's gone from Detective Beerley to Detective Sale. All right, so he begins the forensic examination of the computer, and he reports that as he narrowed the search, he almost immediately located what appeared to be child pornography.
Yeah, fancy that.
Okay. What do you mean fancy that? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, there were almost 400 images. How could he not have found them? How did you
No, that's not what it, that's not how much there were. No. It was
I thought it said 396.
No, it said 96.
Can I speak?
Yep.
I say fancy that because remember, I told you I bought the laptop off of Craigslist, and I had no idea about wiping or any computer technology, how to get rid of stuff. I ended up walking around with a ticking time bomb the whole entire time, hence the reason why those officers or detectives found that material. Okay, I had no idea what was on there.
Okay. All right. So we're just going through sort of the investigative stuff right now.
No, I'm just letting you know. I'm trying to clear the airways here.
Sure. So he stopped, and Detective Beerley got an addendum to the search warrant. So, I mean, I know that you said earlier that there was no search warrant, but from the probable cause statement, which you have agreed to as we're going through it right now, they did have a search warrant, right? And it looks like when they found the child pornography, they stopped and they didn't go any further until they got an addendum to the search warrant, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. All right.
That's why I was talking about the suppression of evidence, how that's where it started right there.
All right. And it looks like, for example, that he located images of prepubescent females performing oral stuff on an adult male, having intercourse with an adult male, touching an adult member, engaged in bondage, and some sexual images of infants. So that's what they found?
That's what they said they found, but I was unaware of it, like I said.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here are your statements. Okay. Well, okay. So you're stating you bought this computer. Do you know when you bought this computer on Craigslist approximately?
Oh my Lord. No, I cannot remember that date.
Was it soon after the search
No,
warrant?
it was way before this event ever took place.
Okay, so way before this ever happened, right? So
Well, I wouldn't say way, like you make it like it's way like long time. I can't remember the date and time when I bought it, but I had no idea it was on there, and that kind of stuff does happen.
You've said
Okay,
that.
so more or less, was this like a couple of weeks in between the two incidents? Was it like a month, 2 months, 3 months, give or take?
I don't know, AC. I want to answer that, but I don't have an answer for you. Sorry, AC.
Okay, so you don't know whether it was a year, 2 years, 6 months from the time that you bought the computer to when they searched it.
Exactly.
Okay. Who'd you buy the laptop from?
Some gentleman on Craigslist. I didn't even get his name.
You didn't even have a first name for him?
I just went and met him and bought it. I didn't even ask for his name.
So, I mean, how did you address him? Like
I responded to the ad, say, hey, I'm interested in your laptop.
Yeah.
Can I meet you and go buy it? And
Okay,
then
so did you go to his house? Did you have him come to your house? Did you meet in a parking lot?
Was he psychic?
What do you mean psychic?
Like, could he predict the future?
No, I have no idea. It's just an average Joe Blow that I bought.
I know, I get that. He's just an average guy selling a laptop, for like $50.
Well, not to be flippant. I'm just curious as to how he knew to stuff them. If he put the material there, how he knew who was going to buy his laptop to create a user profile under your name.
Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Well, okay.
I'll explain that.
I like I said, I like to be fair. We have this laptop that you've purchased, and I mean, where did you meet him to purchase it?
I met him in a public place. That's all I can remember.
So how did you identify him? Did you just wander around till there was a guy with a laptop?
No, I told him what kind of vehicle I was driving, and he told me what kind of vehicle he was driving, and I just took it from there.
Okay, so you had some information about at least something about him, right?
Yeah, the vehicle and what he looked like.
You responded to the ad via email, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I responded to it.
All right, so there was some sort of connection as to who. So you bring the laptop home, and then how do you set it up for yourself?
I put the what's it called, Google and everything else in my name. I had to take his name. I had to take all his stuff off of it. There was no password, by the way. I just had to get in there and change his name from my name. That's all I did.
Okay, so you switched over user accounts.
Basically, yes. I deleted his stuff, but I didn't delete the hard drive. Does that make sense? I didn't know I needed to do that. I just deleted what he had on there and put my name on it.
So did he have files on there?
I didn't even check those.
I mean, usually, so like if I were to go into my like file explorer right now and stuff,
Right. No, I get what you're saying, man, but you have to understand this is back in 2009. I was not computer savvy at all. I had no idea how to use it.
I understand that completely, but I'm just saying, like, I don't need to, like, I'm going to just pick up a file of mine.
I get what you're saying. With all due respect, I get what you're saying.
Okay. All right. So you deleted some files, but you didn't do like a hard wipe on the computer.
I didn't do a hard wipe. No. Yes. Correct.
Okay. All right. So you have this computer and we still don't know how much time in between,
I would say a week. I would say at least a week, give or take.
A week.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird because before you had said 3 months on a different panel. So I'm just.
I said 3 months, or is it on paper? I said 3 months.
Well, it's on paper as well, but you had said before, I believe it was on Josh Abrams' panel that it was 3 months. So I'm just.
Oh, that's okay. Well, again, like I said, I told you at the beginning, I did not know. I was just guessing right now.
Okay, no, that's all right. All right. So 3 months goes by, and they go ahead and they search the computer. They find these images. You don't know how they got there, right?
I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. All right, but they were there, obviously.
Well, obviously they found him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they find these. We'll go on here to continue to read this this probable cause statement, which again is not the police report. I'm going to go. The police report has never been released, as far as I know. It's got a lot more detail in there. So I think it would be in everybody's best interest if we found that and released that. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So these are your own statements here. All right. So an officer met with you at the Pierce County Jail on 6/29/2010. You were dressed in proper jail attire, was friendly, and made an attempt to answer all questions. You asked to identify any inconsistencies in the declaration for probable cause, and you were informed that you didn't have to answer any of the questions if you may be uncomfortable with them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. After reviewing the document, Mr. Sutton immediately stated that basically his legal issue stemmed from his good-hearted action. He was speaking to the fact that he decided to drive by his father's home to make sure all was well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
A welfare check. Yes.
Yeah, but not. I mean, you were just going by to check him out because a welfare check, you'd be calling the police, right?
Well, I made the welfare check. That's what I meant.
Okay, all right. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And when you made the welfare check, you were in your security uniform.
Yes, I was heading to work.
Yeah, in your retired police car.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, but it's not a real welfare check because even though you're dressed like a police officer and maybe driving around looking like one, you weren't a police officer, right?
No, I wasn't attempting to be a police officer. I was going to work.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know. I understand what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. What am I doing?
You're getting to the point. I get what you're trying to do. Carry on, ma'am.
Great. So the extreme weather on 1/7/2009, heavy rains resulted in flooding in many areas around Pierce County. Mr. Sutton stated that on this particular evening, he was called into work to take the place of another employee who, due to the weather, could not make it to work. Mr. Sutton stated he was employed as a security guard by the Washington Patrol Security Division. He stated that he left his home early and had driven on back roads in an attempt to avoid traffic that might have been struggling in the bad weather. Mr. Sutton says his maneuvering the back roads had afforded him the extra time to stop by his father's home and make sure everything was all right and that he was not experiencing problems related to the rainstorm to his home or property. Mr. Sutton stated that the back roads led to his elderly father's home, which is located in Sumner, next to the, I'm sorry, how do you pronounce that? Puyallup River. I'm not from there.
No, Puyallup.
Puyallup. Thank you very much for that. He stated he wanted to look at the river to see how high it may have risen and how fast it seemed to be rising. To him, it was just another step in making sure all was fine. Mr. Sutton said he did this because he had a heart and wanted to make sure his father was okay, but instead of his father appreciating his actions, he became incensed at Mr. Sutton for no apparent reason, other than the fact that he didn't like the clothes his son was wearing. When I asked Mr. Sutton what type of clothing he on, he stated he had on his security uniform, which looks like a police uniform, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. And this is, similar to what the robbery victim described, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he said that his father did not like the car that he was driving either. He stated his vehicle at the time was an old police vehicle, a 1999 Crown Victoria, which Sutton remarked still looked like a police car. When I inquired why his clothing and vehicle would upset his father so much, Mr. Sutton nonchalantly stated with a smile and a smirk of the shoulders, he is an asshole. So that's
that's right.
All right.
That's my dad for you.
What was he just yelling at you that like that? I mean,
oh yeah, he cussed me off. He cussed me off his property. He couldn't stand how I was dressed or what I was driving.
Why is that though?
Because he doesn't. Like I said, me and my dad have never had a good relationship. He's nothing but a troublemaker. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, but I mean, what kind of stuff was he saying about what you were dressed? Or was he just like, I don't like the way you look. It doesn't flatter your eye.
He never liked what kind of jobs I picked. Whatever job I had, he had to snicker about it or say something negative about it. And I told him, hey, look, it's a job. It's paying my bills. It's taking care of my family. So what does it matter?
Okay. All right. So 2 days after seeing his father, he was arrested for robbery in the first degree and criminal impersonation. He stated he knows the arrest was based on information his father had passed on to the police.
That's right.
Okay. He said that he has laptop, computer in the car, which he took to work with him to watch movies when things became boring and slow on the job. Is that?
Yeah, that's correct.
What kind of movies?
Just DVDs like Bad Santa, Terminator, stuff like that.
Like a comedy and sci-fi type of guy?
Basically, just to kill the boredom.
Yeah, sure. Terminator, that's was a good series of movie up until the sixth one.
Yeah, they got pretty bad.
yeah, beating a dead horse. Okay, so he said the next thing he knew, he was charged with child pornography that was found on his computer. Mr. Sutton adamantly denied ever downloading or accepting any child pornography and keeping these images on his computer. He stated there was no possible way he could have ever put the pornography on his computer. He stated his wife also looks at the computer, and if she would have seen it, that it was there, she would have very much disapproved. Mr. Sutton said the only explanation for the child pornography on his computer must have been that he had an open shared file on his computer.
Yeah, again, I may have said that, but now that I look back, I regret saying that part of the that sentence. I had no idea how computers and whatnot worked back then in 2009 like I do now. So again, I was not aware of any of that material on my laptop. I don't know how it got on there. Because
what did you mean by open shared file?
What was that, ma'am?
What did you mean that you had an open shared file on your computer?
That's the only thing that came out of my mouth that came in my brain to say. I don't know why I said that.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Jeffrey. Even then, and as you did probably now, but even then, at that point, were you at all concerned about the harmful effects of having of child porn and the predators that engage in activity? Was that something that concerned you back then?
Well, absolutely, because I have 2 little kids myself. Yeah, absolutely.
So it never occurred to you to say, "Hey, look, there's a guy out there on Craigslist who's obviously a predator. We need to go check this guy out." Or that didn't. Nowhere in the statement. The only thing you could think of was maybe an open file share in 2009.
Well, again, if I would have known more like I do now, I would have taken care of it, and that guy would have been.
But you knew then you bought a laptop from a guy on Craigslist who had child porn. There's a predator right there. That would have been the first thing. I said, look, do what you got to do. You got a guy out there who's out there.
I know, and that's what makes me upset is the cops didn't investigate who had it before me, and they didn't do that. Which is
well, it looks like you didn't even tell them that, right?
No, I told him I bought it on Craigslist. It should be in there, and that's what.
No, it's not in there. It's not in there.
I mean, we'll check the police report too, of course. Of course, we'll check the police report. But I'm just curious, so obviously somebody had downloaded child porn onto this computer. What do you think should happen to them?
The person that did it should go through what I'm going through, and went through.
Okay, I mean.
I went to jail. I had to go to jail for this guy, hence the robbery stuff. But I had to go to jail for that guy, and that wasn't right.
So you think he should go to jail?
I think the guy that had it on the computer where I bought it from should go to jail. Absolutely.
Okay. So did you ever make any sort of effort to locate or identify him, or have your attorney do that?
No, ma'am.
Why wouldn't you?
Did you even bring it up to the police? Nope.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I would think that, obviously somebody who engages in things like this and consumes sexual images of children as young as infancy, right? Like that's somebody who definitely, I believe, deserves to go to jail. Would you agree or no?
No, I agree with you, what you're saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would think that not only would, if I were in that position, as you state, this could happen to anyone. You could just accidentally have images of infants giving blowjobs and being raped on your computer. That can just happen to anyone. That you would. I if my freedom was on the line, I would definitely want to make a vigorous search for the person that I believe to be responsible for that, and I would also want them put away because that is a depraved thing to have on your hard drive, right?
Right. Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So what you did was admit to what he did.
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Well, that's what a plea is. I mean, that's what it's a signed confession.
It's a lot of people are just kind of disagreeing that this could happen to anyone. That's weird. That
it didn't happen, Kate. I'm sorry, it didn't happen. That's a bullshit story. I can't let it go any longer. That Craigslist shit is a bullshit story. Even if you change the name, even in 2009, all that is logged and tracked. Even in 2009, Event Viewer, all that is tracked. You don't get to change someone's name and not have a log entry. And forensic investigation would have shown that, would have discovered that. He didn't buy this from a lap. That was his computer.
Well, I think that's kind of where, I wonder about the airdropping thing because
that didn't happen either. He didn't know anything about it.
No, listen, this is what I want to ask an independent auditor here because they actually did forensically examine this computer, correct?
Yes, they did.
And they determined that those images were purchased, or not purchased, but downloaded 3 months after when you stated to have bought the computer, correct?
What, the date and time and stuff? Is that what you mean?
Yep, the metadata on the photos, on the images. Yeah.
But there's also a thing called IP address. How come they didn't track that?
Okay, but I'm saying, like, so I mean, you're up here stating that you purchased the computer and that it must have been the person you purchased it from, but we can both agree that it was forensically it was forensically examined, and they determined that the images were downloaded 3 months after when you stated that you purchased the computer, correct? That's what you just said. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, why are we still talking about the Craig? I mean, that's obviously it didn't come from the person that you purchased them, unless do you think that they stole the computer back and downloaded it?
Again, I bought the computer from Craigslist. Whether it shows up on there or not is irrelevant. I did buy the computer from Craigslist, and
nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing that.
Right. I'm just saying people are thinking it didn't happen that way. It did happen that way.
Okay, but I'm saying how do you explain that the images were downloaded 3 months after you purchased it, though?
Listen, if it was a brand new spanking computer, I mean, come on.
Sure. And I'm not disputing that. There's an absolute possibility that at any point you could buy a used computer and there could be some fucked up shit on that hard drive, right? Look, I get that, but I'm just curious. I just want to overcome this with you, buddy, because we got now we have 902 people watching live, and I just really want to get over this with you so that we can kind of you acknowledged twice now that the images were downloaded 3 months after you purchased the computer. So how did that happen? Again,
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on that.
Okay, so but we know that it didn't come from the person that you purchased.
Come up. Honestly, it would come up with my information on it that I downloaded it, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because it depends how much they look into that. And of course, back in 2009, there weren't the same sort of geotags on images that there are today. It's become a little bit more sophisticated. They were able to tell when it was downloaded. That's all I'm trying to do now is just establish that, obviously, even though you've said it a couple times, I think that we can probably take off the table the explanation that the person that you bought the computer from was the one who downloaded it, because there would be no way that he would be able to download that onto the hard drive 3 months after you purchased it, right?
Again, if that material's on there for that lengthy period of time, without my knowledge, that computer can be used for months and that material can be there. See, that don't go nowhere. Even if
you've already acknowledged. You've already acknowledged. I want you to. We just got to stay with it because we want to be fair and we want just the facts here. Not the emotional stuff with the bad karma and the bad connotations towards you, right? We want to be fair and just the facts. You've already acknowledged that the police determined that those images were downloaded 3 months after you purchased the computer.
I get it.
It was downloaded while it was in your possession. You've admitted it twice. We don't really need to,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we know that it wasn't the guy you bought it from, which now we still have this mystery of like how did it get on there, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's the current mystery. We've already taken one thing off the table here. We know it wasn't the guy you bought it from, unless he came back and took the computer, downloaded some fucked up shit, and then slid it back in your back seat, which I don't think is very likely. Do you?
Well, Kate, I have it. Kate, go ahead. Kate, I have it. It. The cops did it.
That's right. That's the second explanation.
Cops did it.
See, look,
great explanation. Solves everything. They were out to get this guy. Cops did it.
This whole Craigslist story is a 2021 phenomenon. It was never mentioned before that. He's done that. He's done that recently. He says in his own words, the only explanation he had at that time, I'm sure his memory was better then than it is in 2021, was that maybe it was an airdrop by a car passing by. Or maybe you did it, Mr. Officer. None of this. What this whole Craigslist bullshit story is just something he's come up with. And it was the first time it actually came up, it was floated by me through No Bones Press as a hypothetical. And I said, well, this is news because No Bones Press and Jeffrey were cohorts. They were, freaking frat. They went everywhere together. And No Bones Press had kids, and we contacted No Bones Press and said, look, you might want to watch out for this guy. Do you know about this, this, and this? And No Bones Press stood by his friend to the very end till it dawned on him that he was being lied to. And that came up, and he put to me in a DM this crazy story about maybe it was a garage sale. Maybe it was a garage sale. Maybe that's what happened. And then then everything after that was exactly as he's saying now. That's the first time that came up. And then Jeffrey brings it up on a panel later on. So None of that was brought up in 2009 when it seems like a plausible explanation that they should have been investigated. But no, it had to be a car passing by with an open file there.
I think you're getting a little harsh on our friend here now. So I just want to look. What's really important here? What's really important here is that we get to the truth. The truth. So I want to go back to sort of the possibility. So I know that you raised it at one point, Independent, that there was a possibility that it was, airdropped essentially. Can you go into detail with that a little bit? Because I want to look at that option too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that. You guys have made your decision. This is just a clown show right now. You guys are all made your decision.
Listen, I don't agree with anything. I think that
you guys look. I'm honest with you guys. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. This is nothing but a clown show for ratings for you guys to get your channels.
I'll step down, Kate.
Yeah. I think we have to remove Navin because he's being unfair. And just really, we can't do that. What I'm trying to do is we're trying to methodically make sure that we get to the truth here so that we can, give you every opportunity possible.
Every time I speak about the truth, I'm automatically made a liar. No matter what story I come up with, it doesn't matter.
Well,
you guys,
no. We don't want to make up stories at all. What we want to go through is we've had several different things.
You have to understand, like people like AC and the other individuals on here, they've already made their mind up. There's no convincing these guys. This is what they eat this stuff up daily. This is AC's thing. It's called the shit show. He likes this kind of stuff. The drama sells. That's what makes his channel grow. Drama.
By the way, check out the AC and Asmar shit show. We do a shit show every so often, usually after 9 p.m. Central Time.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I was getting my ratings there.
I wanted him to face, this and really look at it analytically.
No matter what I say, I'm lying anyway. So what's the point? No matter what I say or comes out of my mouth.
You know what, Kate? I'm gonna pull a Navin. I'm gonna step down.
Yeah, I think we have to. There, I won't even let him finish. There, buddy, because we need to be fair. So I just want to go through the airdrop because that is something that we haven't explored yet. So I know you brought that up to the police. Now, like when we're looking at the airdrop, how do we think that went down?
No, I said that to the police. I said airdrop.
Well, you said shared file. So essentially, if I'm saying airdrop, then that might not be what you meant. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I want you to understand that report that you have on your screen right now, this was not recorded or video recorded in an interrogation room. Just so you know, this was done without my attorney, and all of this that I supposedly said, there's no record of me saying it except what you see right there. So keep in mind, cops lie. They can put anything they want in a report and say what they want. Do you understand what I'm saying, ma'am? The police lie all the time. There is no accuracy or legitimate or accountability when it comes to police in any way, shape, or form. So no matter what I say, I'm automatically a liar.
No, which is why I asked you as I was going through it. Do we agree with the statement?
I told you what happened with me back in 2009. I've been living with this since 2009. And I think that, honestly, God's given me a second chance to live. I'm still married. I got 2 kids, and I take care of my family like the man I'm supposed to be. And I do what I have to do out here, even though it's a struggle. I make it.
Oh, you got 2 kids?
I do have 2 kids. They're teenagers. They're teenagers.
I have teenagers as well. My daughter will almost be 16. My son's 13.
They're teenagers, and they love me to death. They don't judge me from anything. Neither does my wife.
13 years ago, they were probably pretty little, huh?
Oh, very little.
Yeah, that's tough.
They were heartbroken when their dad went to jail for a crime they never got committed.
Yeah, I mean, how would you feel if somebody had pictures of one of your kids touching an adult penis on their hard drive?
I'm a father, and I have father, Papa Bear tendencies. I'll hurt somebody if that happens to my kids. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that honestly, that's what these people deserve, right? Just what's the point of even putting them in jail? Is how I feel about it. They should just be killed. Would you agree?
But on top of that, which I don't know if any of you viewers will agree with me on this, but the whole entire system as a whole is corrupt, and I ended up being one of the victims in the system. The system failed me. I had a lot of trust and faith in the system, and the system failed me.
Okay, so how did the system fail you?
Because I didn't get a chance to prove my innocence in this case, even though, I had an attorney. Yeah, there was a prosecution. Yeah, all this other stuff. The attorney didn't do his job to get me off this case. So I didn't have any choice but to plea out for this thing. They didn't want to fight anymore. I stood in county jail for 18 months trying to fight and clear my name. 18 months. I lost 2 years of my kids' life, including my wife's. my marriage was on the line. Everything was on the line. But unfortunately, my wife believes me and knows I'm innocent with what is there. So I'm still married to my wife to this day. So, I do have a great support system out here. Whether I get it in here or not is irrelevant, but I do have a great support system. Everybody knows my character and who I am and what I am. If
well,
people
listen,
want,
I don't know because I don't know you, and that's what we're trying to get at here. So,
right.
I mean,
I'm just putting it out there.
As far as it goes with a conviction, generally speaking, and I think again, you see somebody with a conviction for something like this, the presumption is always going to be guilt.
I regret taking it.
Okay, and that's fine. But I was just saying. So the best way to combat that would be to offer a plausible explanation as how the things went, and that's all I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to be as methodical as possible for your benefit. So there's no holes. I mean, we've had a few holes here, a little snafu here and there, but a little bit of inconsistency, minute to minute. But that's all right. It was 13 years ago, and certainly if somebody was a pedophile, they wouldn't want to admit that in public. Nobody, how many pedophiles admit that, right? So I get that.
I get it. I get it.
So I mean, you did at least pose the possibility that these files were remotely dropped into your computer. So I'm just curious as to kind of what put that idea in your head.
I don't know. You have to understand I was ignorant to the law then. I didn't know the laws then.
Oh, this
like
really, I mean, it's not really. I mean, you're certainly not on trial here. This is a legal issue. It's more.
I'm answering your question. I'm trying to do my best to answer your questions.
Okay, because I kind of question that because there was no airdrop in 2009, so we know that wasn't an option. And when you look at remote file sharing, right? And I did some research, and I'm assuming that it was a Windows computer, correct?
It was a Dell laptop with, I want to say, not Windows 7. Let's see. Windows, what the hell is that called? Not Windows 7, the older version.
Let's go back and look. So it would be
XP.
No, yeah. The newer one besides XP.
Windows 7 came out in 2009.
No.
Windows Vista? Was it Vista, perhaps?
Vista. There you go.
Great. Okay, so I thought that it was 7, so I'm going to go back to Vista, and we're going to look up how file sharing works. Okay, so in order to share files and folders, and I'm going to show this so that full transparency, because I like to show my work so there's no question. People make things up all the time, and I'm not one of those people, but I like to make sure that we all know that. All right.
And so keep in mind that encryption back then was flimsy at best. There was data attached to everything.
Well, no, but I mean, this is actual file sharing. This is sharing files and folders. This is how you would get files onto your computer. So, when I'm looking down here, so in order to share files with you, that person would have had to have your user account and password.
Okay.
Did you give out your user account and password to people that may be driving by with child pornography?
I do not know. It might have been open. I don't know how that works. You got to understand, I didn't know enough about computers then.
Well, no, I'm looking right here, and it's saying that you would have to have a user account and password in order to access file shared.
Sometimes I wish I had that information in front of me so I can answer your question more truthfully and more fairly, but I don't have I can't remember. It was 2009. It's been how many years ago?
Well, I can remember that I remember the laptop that I had in 2009, and I can remember that I had a user account and password. I can actually remember my user account. It was intoxicated because I thought that was funny at the time, and my password was slimfc229. I don't use that anymore, but I can remember. I mean, 2009 was a while ago, but it wasn't that long ago.
Ma'am, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have it in front of you, but the information that came off that hard drive was a Toshiba hard drive. I did remember that. And what gets me is, why is a Toshiba hard drive inside of a Dell laptop? It should be a Dell hard drive.
Not necessarily.
And I did some research on that, and I found out the research tells me that Dell put Dell products.
Well, I mean, you didn't do enough research because it's very common that companies share parts with other companies at a discounted rate in exchange for other parts that company may have that they need.
Or people
and I think at one point they were.
Hello?
Oh, we lost her. No, I mean, I guess what's the relevance too? So there's a Toshiba hard drive. What is that?
I just wanted to bring that to your attention to let you know that it was taken off of a Toshiba hard drive, which is weird because my computer was a Dell.
So do you think that it malfunctioned and, perhaps?
No, I just felt that was odd because when I had looked it up, when Dell makes their computers, they put Dell hard drives in there. It says right on the hard drive, Dell.
Dell doesn't make, they don't make hard drives.
I mean, I can look that up and find out.
When I researched it, it came up like that.
I'm just trying to figure out the relevancy though. So
well, I mean, now they might, but back then they did not.
Well, that's what threw me for a loop. I felt that kind of odd how all this material was found on a Toshiba hard drive when my laptop wasn't a Toshiba. That's just weird.
Okay, but I mean, you seem to, up until this point anyway, acknowledge that it was found on your computer, right? Like that hasn't been disputed.
I'm not denying that, but I'm going to continue to express my innocence on it.
Sure. Okay. No,
Thank
that makes
you, Rabbit.
sense.
I wasn't sure if they had started, but Dell still does not make hard drive.
Okay. Yeah. So that would explain that. The case closed on that one, I guess. So, all right. So, I mean, the likelihood of file sharing, especially without your knowledge would be pretty low from anything that I'm reading. So, so then we go on to the next possibility, which you've expressed, which is that the police put it on there. So do you think that's a possibility?
I don't trust police with a 9-foot pole. So yeah, that could be a possibility.
Okay. So why do you think they would do that?
Why do police do what they do? I have no idea. I mean, they're police.
No, I understand, but it's just basic psychology here. So, I mean, I mean, generally people are going to do things when it behooves or benefits them. So, I mean, prior to 2009, did you have a criminal record?
Nope, I was totally clean.
Okay, so no prior beefs with the police, department as far as criminal charges. Were you an activist doing the First Amendment audits prior to 2009?
Nope, that's before I even knew about that too.
Okay, all right. So no real actual beefs with the police department then.
Nope, never been in jail or prison in my life except for that moment right there in 2009.
Okay, all right. So I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing here based on, again, plausibility. You're stating that you had no criminal record prior to 2009, so you weren't on the police's radar.
Nope. I had no reason to be. I had no reason to be.
And you weren't an activist, so they didn't have any personal issues with you. They didn't need to shut you up about anything, right?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Did you know anyone on the police department?
No.
Okay, so no, nobody knew you on the police department. No personal issues with anyone. So why would they plant child pornography on your computer?
Well, again, I don't know how to answer that question because honestly, I don't know how to answer that question, but they can do it. There's cases on it. So.
Okay. I'm just, again, plausibility here. It doesn't seem very plausible that they would plant child pornography on your computer.
Well, it's plausible that they violated my Fourth Amendment right to a search warrant, so anything's plausible.
But I mean, you have agreed, and it's stated in this probable cause hearing that they had a search warrant.
I didn't. I'm not disagreeing, but they had a search warrant for the car. They did not have a search warrant for the laptop yet.
It looks like they did have one for the laptop, and then they stopped when they found the child pornography and amended it to then be able to search for the evidence with the child pornography.
You're going to have, again, you're somewhere along the line. You're getting that confused, ma'am. You have to go to the suppression of evidence file and look on how they obtained this information about me prior to the investigation on the laptop. So I wish you could pull that up.
I absolutely will be pulling it. Like I said,
that is basically what I'm trying to get at, ma'am. Is that's where it started. The Fourth Amendment violation started there. That means my attorney says anything is possible. If they can do that, then they can do anything else.
Okay. All right.
The trust is now gone when it comes to that search warrant. They violated my Fourth Amendment right digging into my computer before a search warrant was even issued for that laptop. So that tells you something right there.
And conveniently, they found child porn. All right.
And
So
then listen. And then they take it to Lakewood, which is another city over where I live, and did investigation on the laptop prior to what I just told you about that suppression of evidence scenario. So that's where it started.
Okay.
They covered their ass in their mistake. That's what they did.
I'm just trying to figure out how the child pornography got on the computer, and it does not seem very plausible to me that the police planted it.
I understand it doesn't seem plausible, but anything can happen, regardless of how plausible it may sound.
Sure, absolutely. So, to kind of speaking of Lakewood Police Department, to kind of complicate things further, it's documented and reported that images on a MySpace.com account belonging to you had images that appeared to be child pornography.
There you go. Now you're talking. That's where the 3.5 suppression of evidence comes involved.
Okay, so what's the deal with the MySpace account?
I did have a MySpace account, but there was no porn of that kind of nature found on my MySpace, where my wife and my friends would have found it.
I'm just saying that they found it. How did
they made a mistake by saying that what they said on MySpace, and they said they found it on MySpace. Wait a minute, how did they know I had a MySpace? The 3.4
Google, dude.
No, within the search warrant.
No. MySpace was open up on my laptop in my car before they took the search warrant to the laptop.
Okay, all right, and that's how they found it. All right, it also says that images found under
that's how they knew I had a MySpace, because it was right there on the laptop. They could see it.
So it's also reported that on your laptop computer, images found under the username Jeff Sutton included websites that are all child pornography websites, such as SeenNymphits.com, Top100Girls.biz, InnocentGirls.biz, and FamilyRape.info, and more. They're stating that you had multiple user accounts created on those websites, including accounts set up under your wife and children's names. What's
interesting. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So my whole family, my family was using the laptop, and again, my wife and everybody else that was using my laptop didn't see anything like that. That's ironic.
Okay, so I mean, you had stated previously, again, and recorded that first that your wife and family did not have access to your laptop, that they had their own user accounts on their devices that was somehow linked.
Right.
Okay, so are you claiming that your wife
we had multiple devices and whatnot in our home, not just
your wife and children were opening user accounts on their devices for websites.
My children were too tiny to be on computers and whatnot. They had no idea about any of that stuff.
So then why were their accounts created in their names?
I have no idea.
Just a coincidence.
That doesn't make me guilty.
Well, it's just, why would someone create user accounts under your children's names for websites that have child pornography hosted to them? That would seem to me to be someone who is trying to.
It's the same question. It's the same question why people make multiple accounts for whatever reason. Doesn't mean there's any legal activity going on there. People can have multiple accounts. Doesn't mean anything.
Right, but these are accounts.
Okay, but
to
these are on
websites
child porn sites.
Child pornography, right?
And where were these child porn sites found? On my kids' account?
On your computer, there were accounts created under their names for these sites.
That's odd.
Well, I'm assuming you knew about this because this is a report from 2010, so it's been 12 years. I'm assuming you knew that before today, right?
Well, I didn't know about this until now. Yeah, you told me.
I mean, that's not true because you're recorded on Josh Abrams' panel being asked about this as well. So you do that too.
Okay.
I mean, there's just a lot of questions that you can't answer. I mean, first of all, I don't have any child pornography on my computer. I know that for a fact. If I did, then I would be very motivated to explain why. And I would want whoever was responsible for that to go to jail. That's not happening with you. You can't produce any plausible explanations for this. You don't dispute that the images existed. And every single thing that's found here is linked back to you.
Okay.
So let me ask you a more pointed question. Just so, when did your sexual interest in children begin?
It never did.
Well, I mean, I think that we can all agree that that's probably not the case. So I'm just curious, like, is this been like a lifelong struggle of yours, or was it, you know, kind of, did it start in 2009? Like, when did it begin for you?
It never started.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, just doesn't seem to be a lot of evidence to support that assertion right now.
How many people in their life end up having child porn websites and images attributed to them directly, and it's just an accident? Because that's never happened to me or anyone I know.
Is that for me or for her?
Well, she doesn't have
this
child porn, so
this has never happened to me. Like, just so it's never happened to me.
Okay.
I mean, do you understand why people might be a little bit concerned if you're lurking around post offices, CPS offices?
No, because again, it's my right to be there, regardless of what my background says. I have a right to be there.
No. If you are a registered sex offender, it is not your right to be around a child ever.
That's not your legally, yeah. I mean, legally you can do it.
Incorrect. I can be around my 2 kids. I got 2 kids right now, and I'm with them right now.
Okay, God bless them. No, legally, he's like, sex offenders can go to post offices, clearly, because he goes to post offices.
I can go to post office.
I meant the CPS office.
I can go to CPS
sex offenders
office.
go to CPS office too. Where do you think that they get interviewed, and where do you think that they have visitation with the children that they need to be supervised around? CPS offices.
That's great.
Yeah, no, sex offenders can go to CPS offices. I would say that CPS offices are one place where you will probably find a concentration of sex offenders, particularly ones with children.
I wasn't there for that. I was there to audit the CPS office. That's the only thing I was there for.
What were you auditing?
The CPS office.
What about it?
What do you mean, what about it? I was checking out the CPS office, being my tax dollars pay for that building and the staff and whatnot in there, so I can audit it. That's why I was there.
I know, but what were you auditing?
The CPS building and the staff and the vehicles and everything else that's on the property.
Are you employed?
No, do you understand what the what the definition of an audit is?
Yeah, I know what an audit is. I wouldn't be doing it.
Right. So if you're auditing something in particular. There's a metric to that. What was the metric?
Yeah, there's something wrong.
No. It's not that there's something wrong necessarily. No, that's not accurate.
It's a state building funded by us, the taxpayers. I can go there.
Right, but what were you auditing?
The building, the CPS, the health department, whatever it was. I can go there.
You were examining the building for what?
The building, the inside and outside of the building, filming the staff that work there.
If we were to forgive you for the fact that you were a pedophile, no one's going to forgive you for the fact that you were sexually interested in children as young as infants. That's pretty unforgivable. Were we to be able to put that aside, though, your ignorance to the definition of a word as simple as audit, when that is what you purport to do for a living, is absolutely unforgivable. If you are not precluded from doing these audits, as you say, on YouTube, because you are a sicko who enjoys watching children touch adult penises, you certainly would be precluded from the fact that you are going in and you do not even have a metric to do what you are doing. You have no idea what you are doing.
Well, that's your opinion. Thank you.
No, it's not an opinion. It's a clear stated fact, because I've asked you.
I co-sign it.
What have you audited? And you cannot provide me with the metric. You don't even understand the word.
I told you what I audited.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
Yeah,
I audited the building. What does that mean?
You said you went to a building and filmed stuff.
Well, no, you said no. I said no, that's not even what he fucking said. That's not even what he fucking said. He literally said, "What are you auditing?" I'm auditing the building. For what? What are you auditing? Are you auditing making sure there's no structural issues?
I said I'm auditing the building inside and out of the building. I'm also auditing the staff that work there. I'm auditing the health department where I can be. It's a state-funded building, regardless of what people think about it.
You do not understand what audit means. You cannot provide a metric. What are you auditing?
He thinks audit means filming.
That's a problem. Delete your channel, Jeff. I'm going to give you 24 hours. It's going to get real.
I'm not deleting shit. I have the same freedom you all do.
Good. No, YouTube is not a freedom. See how that works out for you.
It is a
Remember
freedom.
what happened to your Facebook account because you're a sex offender, Jeff?
I don't have a Facebook account.
Yes, he does.
Right.
I'll send it to you.
Yes, you do.
I have a Facebook account.
And
Oh
what?
yes, you do.
My Facebook account got deleted thanks to you guys.
Thanks to you.
Great. You don't need to be on Facebook ever.
Well, Facebook's a violation of
Seriously.
personal.
Unplug your internet.
You are
Just
sexually
unplug your
attracted to children.
Hold on, Hunter.
I don't know
Hunter.
these five
What were you
folks
just
say
getting ready to
fucking
say?
infants.
I
to
can't hear
infants.
everybody. I can't hear everybody at once. So one person at a time, please.
See what I mean? He's so petulant.
I can't hear all you talking over each other. I can't hear what you said. Now say it again.
Well, I was laughing.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Hello?
Well, okay. Well, we're back up here now, and why the hard sell on the fictitious Toshiba laptop? By the way, Dell used back then, even Western Digital, Seagates, all kinds of laptops. Why the hard sell on either this phantom Toshiba hard drive or the cops did it because that's what cops do? When you emphatically state that it was purchased at Craigslist, even though you never mentioned
and then
it. I mean,
you kind of fell flat on the.
This isn't like you can't just throw everything at the wall and hope something sticks. There's only one truth. There's only one single truth.
He fell flat on the accounts. You had no justification for those accounts on child pornography websites.
Okay.
Okay, but you had an excuse and someone else to blame for everything else. But so the child porn images, you're adamant weren't yours, but those accounts, you have nothing to say.
They weren't my accounts.
Somebody knew your entire family's names and these child pornography websites and registered them from your computer. Craigslist guy knew your entire bloodline.
I've already gone through all this. I'm not going to go through it again.
Yeah, at this point, there's only one answer, and it's it's the simplest one.
Because
it was him.
You can throw everything at the wall and see if something sticks. You're perfectly, and we tried to do that for an hour now, and nothing sticks, Jeff. Nothing sticks.
Well, again,
the only thing that sticks is that you're a fucking pedophile. And I'm guessing that's why you probably don't have a lot of connections left in this community. And I guarantee
I'm not looking for connections. That's why hence it's called independent. I'm by myself.
Would you consider chopping off your penis?
That's ignorant. You're ignorant.
No, I think that it would be a really. What about chemical castration? Ever crossed your mind?
No, doesn't happen.
No, you wouldn't be able to jerk off to kids that way, huh?
To infants, like, my God. Oh, wow.
Is this the source of strife between you and your father?
Do what now?
The sexual attraction that you harbor towards children, is that sort of one of the origins of the strife between you and your father?
I'm not answering that.
Okay, no,
that sounds right. Like a yes.
No, it sounds like he doesn't want to incriminate himself. You can draw your own conclusions from there.
I wonder if his father would love to do an interview with you, Kate.
I don't usually involve
Good luck with that. He's 74 or 75 years old. Good luck with that.
I wouldn't bother your 75-year-old father with that. I don't feel any need for it. Your inability to even offer one plausible explanation as to how that child pornography got on your computer. Would you let somebody forensically analyze your hard drive like tomorrow? Would you do that?
I don't have a computer. I have a phone.
Okay, so if we had somebody who could forensically, examine that, would you let somebody forensically examine your phone?
For what?
Just clear your name.
And what's that going to do? Again, you're just wasting your time.
You don't think? I mean, would you be worried about that?
Nope, not at all.
I'm sure we could find someone wherever he lives that could do it.
110%.
I'll sit here and wait. Just like all the rest of the goddamn threats I've heard.
It's not a threat. Why would you interpret it as a threat?
It's not a threat.
It's voluntary.
Yep.
It's voluntary. Is that what you guys call it now?
If you volunteered, yeah.
So I'm supposed to sit here and go, okay, sure.
I would.
Why? You guys already made your mind up. What's the point?
No, if you're adamant to clear your name, show. If you're
Josh even invited me to do a polygraph test, and everybody said, no, don't do that. Those don't work.
Okay, but if you don't have child porn on your phone, why would you care if someone looked for child porn on your phone?
I don't have child porn on my phone. You're making assumptions here, aren't
Well,
you?
no, I'm saying I said if you didn't have child pornography on your phone, why would you be hesitant to have it analyzed to clear your name?
News Now, NME is saying that he'll cover shipping. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
at no cost to
Right.
you.
See,
Obviously.
exactly. Your answer right now should be, Jeffrey, I'll tell you what it should be. Sure, I had no problem. If you guys pay for it, I'll gladly do it. And then that will happen.
Let me finish from that. Now, what is that going to do for me if I did all that you guys want me to do? What's that going to do for me?
It's
and
going
this
to clear your
community?
name.
No, it's not. You guys already made your assumption and your decision on me just by
These
how she.
sound like excuses. This
It made me
sounds
feel
like a
better.
bunch of
It
excuses.
made me feel better.
What's it going to do? It's not going to do anything. You guys already made your decisions on me.
Clear your name then.
The shit's
We're
right there.
offering to cover the cost. We're offering to cover the cost of whatever it costs to have your phone analyzed. If you want to clear your name and you don't have child porn, why not get your phone analyzed? It's going to cost you what? An hour of your day.
Again, answer the question. What's it going to do afterwards? What's it going to do for me and my family? You guys.
It's going to show that you no longer beat off to children, dude. You want to clear your name, prove it.
You guys will still have something to talk about, whether this gets cleared or not cleared, is my point. You will still talk about me. Regardless.
No, we have more interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to chili, but yeah, no, we're just kind of interested in
where's the polygraph test that was promised?
Do you still have images of infants being raped on your devices, or have you stopped doing that?
You're just being stupid now.
No, I don't think. I think it's a very reasonable question.
That's not you're just being ignorant right now.
How is that ignorant?
I thought that was pretty brilliant.
I'm forming an opinion based on documentation that has been provided to me, and I've listened to your side of the story and found that it's not particularly credible, nor is there any plausible explanation behind it.
Both not. It's never been credible since 2009. Everybody's fucking picked on me about this for years, and
So
it is
then
what it
have
is.
your phone analyzed and prove that you don't have a weird sexual proclivity for children.
Look, I don't have any weird anything. I got my 2 kids that are sitting here watching
Then
this.
prove
And
it.
Why would you have your
it.
children watching a discussion
Because they cannot believe
an event
the
where you were
ignorance
found
that-
guilty of
they cannot
possessing
believe the
child
ignorance
pornography? Why would
They
you
cannot
ever
believe it.
expose your children
They
to that?
cannot believe the ignorance that it's coming out of everybody's mouths about this. I told my kids the truth about it, and that it is what it is.
What ignorance? We're going over the report. We're offering to cover the cost for you to prove that you do not have child pornography on your cell phone, and you're just talking in circles.
I guess maybe it's trust. That's my problem. Trust with you guys.
Okay, you don't even need to trust us. You need to trust the independent forensic company that's going to go through it. It's not even us directly. We're just going to get a report.
Look, it's a trust thing with me right now. Let me do some thinking on it, and I'll go from there.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Because no matter what I do or say, you guys already made your decision. Obviously, you can see it on here. Decision's been
We're
made.
asking for evidence to sway our opinion.
Guilty. Obviously guilty.
Well, you pled guilty.
We're asking you to.
if we're talking
you to
just
provide
on a
evidence.
factual basis, then yes, you are guilty. That has been entered. You were sentenced.
So what's
Your
the point?
That has happened.
If that's how you see it, what's the point?
Well, no, that's not how I see it. Do you dispute that you were found guilty on the charge?
I just asked you. So what's your point now to that's right there in front of your face? What's the point of all this other shit?
Well,
I'm
just curious if you still
It's a
beat
game.
off
It's a game.
infants,
It's all-
or if
it's a
that has
game.
changed.
It's just it's something to look.
I would love for somebody, and I see that you're probably not the person to do this because I don't think that you possess the level of honesty or self-reflection necessary. But I am genuinely interested what causes a sexual interest in children, and when you realized it, and how long it took you to act on it.
If you want to know that, I just let you do research on it.
So you're not denying that you're sexually attracted to kids?
I didn't deny anything. I told you there's the paperwork right there in front of your guys' faces.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. No, that's fair. I appreciate that you're not denying
Believe what you want to believe. I already did. I did all my tests. I did what the court wanted me to do. I'm clean. Everything's fine. That's the reason why I can be around my kids. Blase, blase. I did everything the court wanted me to do with no hiccups, no issues, no concerns. So if you guys want to sit consider me as a monster or a predator. That's your guys' ignorance, not mine. I know how this shit works. I'm a prison activist besides this. So I also prison activate this type of material. And this happens all the time. You guys need to understand how the law is and how law works.
Okay, but if you're an auditor, why can't we audit your phone?
Because it's my personal phone. That'd be like me asking you to audit.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, I would absolutely.
Hold on. We scream in the 1A community. We scream for transparency from our government, from our law enforcement. And yet when somebody's sitting here asking you, can you just show your phone? Can we go ahead and just prove that you're not a fucking kitty dealer right now? You don't got fucking kitty porn on your goddamn phone? You can't even fucking man up and say, hey, here's my phone. For the sake of transparency, here's my motherfucking phone. You can't even do that, can you?
It's a trust issue with you guys right now.
Well, no, you got to give it to an independent.
Yeah, well, exactly. We don't trust you. We don't fucking trust you. You've got caught with fucking child pornography on your fucking computer. Of course, we don't fucking trust your ass.
Shut up, fat fuck.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, fat boy?
Fat fuck.
Hey, this you can find. Hey, on another note, Jeffrey, you might find.
I happen to like my cuteness.
Biggest fucking mouth.
Don't like Kay. I'm kind of cute.
Hey, Jeffrey, hold on, guys. Calm down.
Mouth over there.
Your blood pressure made my blood pressure go up.
You'll find this interesting. My find this pretty interesting of note. I don't know if you noticed this. We have. Let's see. There's been a connection between some similar characteristics. Auditing, impersonating a cop, Crown Vics, security guards, and indecency with minors. And it's not just you. We've seen this pattern before with Earl. We've seen it with Minnesota Guardian, Crown Vic, 1999 Crown Vics, right around that area.
I'm aware of it.
Hold on, de facto media, and now Independent Dash. By the way, it is Independent Dash, guys. You can't say Independent. It's Independent Dash. And it's just, and then they go into auditing. That's a pattern that's kind of remarkable. And you fit that mold.
What's up,
perfectly.
Kick?
It's funny you call it a pattern.
Hey. Authority check first and foremost. I got to tell you, I apologize for giving you so much business earlier because I never thought I'd see the day where I would agree with a statement that you made. And I'm very proud of that. So congratulations. You've won me over, at least on that point.
Well, he did that same thing to me, Kick, a while back. How this got started, and I'll mute up, is we were looking in this deal, and Independent Dash was on a panel doing exactly what it's doing now. Lying, come up with the news stories and all this crazy shit. And AC confronted him. AC called his ass out, which I thought was, okay, this is what we should be doing. And I was impressed with that. And I told him, but then I told AC, I said, that man is lying to you. He's lying to your face. And when AC got basically the documents and all that stuff, he did his own show, and that's kind of how we ended up where we are. I find it amazing,
yeah.
Independent, that you can keep this charade going. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know whether to be impressed or sickened, but anyway, go ahead, Kid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lean toward sickened.
Well, so Mr. Sutton, I just have some very simplistic questions for you. I try to be as neutral as I can and read just what documents state. And from what I see here, the number one thing that bugs me the most is at the top. It does show your charge, and it shows that you did plead guilty. So my question to you is why? What about the plea was so, how do I put it? What about the plea romanced you enough to take that stance as guilty?
Again, when I was sitting in the county jail for 18 months trying to clear my name, the prosecution finally came out.
Hold on, Mr. Sutton. Wait. No, look, sir, I'm not here to tear into you and call you all kinds of names and shit like that. Let's try and keep this to a very neutral tone. I'm not here to attack. I'm here to find some information.
My apologies.
That's all.
My apologies for yelling at you. I'm just low. I'm low hot. Right now.
I understand that you're hot. Let's kind of step back. And why is it that you pled guilty?
Due to the fact that they promised me I could go home to my family. That's why I took it. So I fell into a lie.
Now, is that documented anywhere that you have made that statement?
I don't know.
For your approval of the guilty plea.
It should be. I don't know why it isn't. It should be.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sutton, I don't know you from Adam, and I could say that you don't know me in the same way. I've been working in IT for close to 25 years now.
Okay.
Now, basing it off of some of the things that have already been brought up, I just kind of want to give you a little bit of background that's kind of been brought up here. Number one, computer manufacturers don't manufacture their own parts. It used to be that way back in the day with Compaq and Toshiba. However, they were the leaders when it came to hard drives. Memory is produced by ADATA, PNY, Samsung chips, and those are all provided under contract for the lowest bidder by all of the manufacturers. So whoever manufactured the hard drive means nothing. Also, Toshiba was the #1 hard drive manufacturer during 2009, while Vista was one of the biggest operating systems, and they were the biggest fail-prone hard drives. I replaced a lot of them. So for you to have a Toshiba and a Dell is realistic during that time period.
Okay, well, I wasn't aware of that.
And well, no, I'm just giving you some historical information. And I'm leading into this. These websites that show, I'm hard-pressed to believe that somebody else would have created accounts for you on those websites without your consent. And I want you to help me understand how that could happen. What type of internet did you have at the time?
Oh, crap. I want to say it was Comcast, maybe?
Okay, so you had cable internet at the time.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Did you let anyone get onto your computer?
Yeah, my wife got on it.
Aside from family members?
Oh, aside from family members, no.
Okay. And while you were on the internet, did you use any illicit software to download anything like LimeWire or Napster or WinMX?
I have no idea what that is. Sorry.
Okay. So given that that information right there tells me that you weren't part of any other illicit services, makes it very difficult for some rando to pop in and gather all of your family's information. So I'm not saying that all this stuff right here is damning. The fact that no one else would have the information that you do makes it difficult to believe the stance that you have. Does that make sense?
I get it. I get it.
Okay. So now with that, all right, would you say that I'm being reasonable right now?
Sure.
Okay. Would you say that because of my reasonability and the neutrality I'm taking here, could we build some level of trust?
Oh, God. That's a hard one to answer due to the fact that I've been screwed over so many fucking times. You have to understand why I don't have trust.
I don't sit here and
what do you mean screwed over, though? Like, what do you mean you've been screwed over so many times?
By everybody and everything and everyone. You have to understand that just with me personally, I have a trust issue with other people because of this event and what happened.
Okay. So if you feel that everybody else is going to screw you over, what benefit am I going to get out of this? I don't want any fame. I don't want anybody to scream my name and say, this guy is the one who uncovered this shit. I don't need that. All I want to know is,
I'm not looking for fame.
Know is the facts.
Right.
So can you show me your phone? Just me. Doesn't have to be any of these other people. And I know that some people on this panel would consider my word trustworthy. I'd be willing to give that.
I got a question for Jeff.
Okay, and who's this?
Can he answer the question posed to him first?
Answer what's your question?
Would you show me the phone? And you don't have to show it to anybody else on this panel. And whatever I report back to them, I would imagine that they would take either with a grain of salt or they would take it as truth based upon the relationships I've built with them.
I'll tell you what. Because you've been cool and calm and collective here on this. And again, I don't know you from Adam, just like you don't know me. All right. So respectfully, just email me, or do you have my email so we can talk on a more personal note?
Go ahead and put it in the private chat, and then I'm going to email you a little later tonight, and we'll get that squared away.
Shit.
As a matter of fact, I'll type mine into the private chat right now. It's very simple. It's keepingitcriminal@gmail.com.
All right, we're
so just
bear with me for a second. Hold on a second. All right, I just gave you my email. I gave you my email. Okay, just email me.
You, sir.
Just email me and we'll go from there.
And Kick is very trustworthy, in my opinion. He's also got a really strong area of expertise in IT. He can recover files that have been deleted. So I would trust his opinion 110%.
Yep, I appreciate that, Kate.
Very knowledgeable.
So thanks for having me on. And Mr. Sutton, I just hope that you can understand that a majority of the opinions that have been formulated here today are based solely on the documentation and the fact that some things just don't appear to add up. So if your name gets cleared through this, I'd be happy to be the one to represent that for you.
Okay, and a quick question for you real quick. Now, let's say this all gets done and turns out onto a positive note. What is going to happen next? And that goes for everybody on this panel, and I don't know how many is watching right now. What is that going to do for me as a whole now if it gets cleared? Because I want to know.
We're going to blast it everywhere.
Yeah.
The same level of exposure, if not more, to the presumption of your guilt is then going to go to the presumption of your innocence.
Yeah, Kate is one to put out the truth, and whatever the truth comes out, it's going to be the truth. And if she was wrong or anybody else was wrong about it, that's just how we operate. I rescind statements that I make if I'm incorrect.
I certainly do.
How it works.
Certainly do.
And Jeffrey, are you on your phone right now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The same phone that you might hand over to let Kick take a look at, the same phone?
Yeah, I have a problem with that. But again, I want to communicate with him more privately, though.
No, I understand. Okay.
Okay. Not a problem. Thank you all. Y'all have a blessed night.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we do have No Bones Pressed here who had a question.
Where's
He's muted.
Oh, he's muted. No Bones, are you with us?
Yeah, my question for Jeff was when him and I were doing auditing together. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you.
He had a laptop when we were hanging out together. So, then he turns around and says he hasn't had one. He only has his phone. So where's the laptop he had when he was around me?
What laptop? I never said to you that I have a laptop. Can you prove that?
I take his word for it. He and I went at it back and forth, but I take his word for it.
Whose?
Kate.
No Bones Press.
Real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, as for proving it, it's how he sent me pictures so that I could make him his so-called press pass.
Okay.
Ruh-roh.
So you had a laptop that we were going to utilize to make him a press pass.
Well, he lies about not having a laptop, lies about having a laptop. He lies about a laptop.
It's like another Biden laptop.
And it's the simplest of lies, which is the reason why it's hard to trust this guy. Okay. When we did our show, okay, because this wasn't the first time he's been on a panel. We did Epic Cop Watch. We did a panel up on his channel. Which that channel's since been deleted. So, Mr. Sutton wanted to try and strike his channel and ended up getting that video taken down. However, because I'm me, I have a copy of it, which got re-uploaded onto YouTube. And you can strike it again, Mr. Sutton, if you want to. I'll just keep posting it on different channels. But in fact, I sent Kate a link to that channel or to that stream that's unlisted at the moment. But one of the things I wanted to bring up was No Bones Press. I'm glad that you're here because I actually have a text message that's between me and you where this was after we had done I think the second panel, which was my channel, Authority Check Presents, where we had Mr. Sutton up and he was discussing some things. But you had reached out to say thank you because you watched the show and you saw that he lied about something and you wanted to thank me because you even allowed him to be around your family of all people, like your kids, your wife, and you I mean, maybe you can explain this better. Why you kind of reached out, because it wasn't just me, and I never took credit for trying to put Mr. Sutton on fucking on blast for a lack of better term. I always gave credit to all the other people like Navin Johnson, the Frog, a bunch of the other people that gave us the information that allowed us to do what we did on our fucking channels. We called them out for the bullshit.
Good job. I have a quick question for Jeff. I get ready for work. Jeff, did you plead guilty or no contest?
I took a plea deal.
Okay, did you plead guilty or plead no contest?
A plea deal means you're basically pleading guilty to it.
Okay. When you accept,
well, you're not basically. You signed a document saying that you were guilty of the charges.
Right. So when you plead guilty to a charge, or even when you accept a plea deal, you must admit to all the elements in that plea deal before the judge, and then the judge looks at the district attorney and asks him if that's enough for him to accept the plea deal. Did you not do that?
No, that's exactly what happened.
So during your sentencing, you admitted to all the elements of the crime.
Crimes with an S.
Okay, you admitted.
Oh, thank God you specified.
Yes, thank you. So you admitted to all the elements of the crimes during your sentencing, or they would not have accepted your plea deal.
Right. Then they would have went to trial.
Okay, and that's what you wanted, you claim.
What? I didn't go to trial. I took a plea.
Listen, Rain Man, you said you wanted to go to trial, but your attorney...
No, I didn't say I wanted to go to trial. I said if I didn't take the plea, then it would have went to trial.
Correct, which you said you wanted because your attorney was not doing his job. Okay, when you accepted your plea deal, you admitted to every element of all of your crimes.
Right.
Okay, so that means you did it.
Okay.
Like, find me one human that's going to plead guilty to child pornography if they genuinely didn't do anything.
Not many. You know, there's another term for trial. Go to trial. It's called your day in court, and that's how I would have looked at it. I'd have done the time standing on my head waiting for that day in court if I was innocent. No way in the world. Well, we've all said it before. We wouldn't, like she just said. No innocent person signs that kind of a confession.
If the judge did not believe there's actually a legal term for it. I wish Paul's there. I can't remember what it's called. If the judge did not believe what you were saying, or the district attorney did not believe what you were saying, they would have not accepted your plea deal, and then it would have been set for trial.
Right.
Okay. Which is what you're saying you wanted to clear your name. But instead,
that was the goal. That was the goal, but due to lack of evidence, I didn't have any evidence to prove it otherwise. They couldn't get the evidence I needed.
Well, they had the evidence to prove you did it.
Huh?
Like, this is a hill you die on. You're accused of this stuff and you're innocent. Like, you go hard to prove your innocence. And you're just like, oh, well, I didn't have evidence that I don't like to beat off to infants. So I'm just going to take a plea deal. Like, that doesn't cut it.
Well, then obviously you're ignorant to how law works, because that's what happened over here.
Stop saying that people are ignorant when they call you on your bullshit. It's obnoxious. Thank you.
Anyways, are we done here?
RB Texas said the same thing. Mouse said the same thing. Just want to get this over with. My father wasn't feeling well. They told me this. I just wanted to go home. You know, I played guilty to things I didn't do before. You know, 10 miles an hour over speed limit, things like that. But this is something totally. These charges are just totally different. I don't know how you just be so flippant about it. Okay, I can go home now.
Right? Like, it's every day someone gets caught with kiddie porn and child pornography website logins made on their computer in their children's names. Like, that happens all the time. You're just very flippant about something extremely serious. And I feel like if you were innocent, you'd be more apt to take it as serious as it is.
And leave it to William Gloryhole to come through for me. It's called allocution.
You have no idea what I've lived with.
That's right. Yeah. That's it.
Yep, we don't know your story. You just accidentally became a fucking pedophile. Like, you've done nothing to clear your name.
Right.
I got this. Okay, how about this? And then we'll head out of here. So he had that Voices from Inside Out podcast. Can you point me to in the past, before October of 2021, anywhere in there that you talked about your cases and all the podcasts and all the recordings that you had that you mentioned a garage sale or a Craigslist prior to 2021? I'd be interested in hearing that. Yeah, it wasn't in the files. It wasn't in any of the documentation.
I haven't done a story on that on my podcast yet, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, your crime. And the
I haven't done a story on my own personal crime on that channel yet, so.
Well, show me anywhere where you mentioned the term Craigslist or garage sale before October 31st, 2021. I don't think it exists. It's a recent phenomenon because the heat was on and you had to come up with a story and you floated it by No Bones Press. And like a true friend, and I don't blame him for this. He was, he was going through the stages, and the first one was denial, and he stood by you, but then when it was put to him, he did the right thing for his family and for his kids. He said, "Fuck this is bullshit," because you lied to him. Go ahead.
No. There's no Bone Press still in here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Brought up a good point. Also,
he is, but he's not talking. So.
Yeah, he might have some issues with his audio.
Anyways, I fully disclosed myself to that boy right before any of this bullshit started. So it's funny how he can't get his story straight. When I fully disclosed myself, he was cool with it.
You told a bullshit story to him, and the truth came out. We see this with Earl. He floated around crazy little stories that made sense to kind of cover why he's on this list, and then the real truth came out.
Yeah. No Bones backstabbed me is what he did.
No, he did the right thing. No, he did the right thing. The tough thing too.
That's the thing. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No.
Okay, so he can't hear us, I guess.
Hey, the thing is, and what the other gentleman was talking about before, and Navin, I was showing paperwork. Turn that down. I was showing paperwork by Jeff that said one thing, and that was on his laptop. And see, this how he works is he shows you pictures of stuff, and he works in voice messages, so you don't have screenshots. But he showed me the paperwork, and I believed what I saw. And then when the other podcast or panel came across me with the frog and everybody else, I realized the paperwork I had seen wasn't the real paperwork. So under FOIA, I requested the real paperwork. And that's when I realized that there was more lies that were not really that they were lies, but just that they were not being talked about in his supposed honesty to me. So that made me question everything else he told me.
So Independent Dash, why did you give No Bones fake paperwork around this charge?
I didn't give him nothing. He's making that up.
Why would he make that up? What's the motivation?
Yeah, we're friends.
Well, real true friends wouldn't do that anyways. So
wouldn't do what?
What he did.
Wouldn't check to see if you're a
What did he do?
pedophile when you're around your family.
When I fully disclosed myself to No Bones, he looked me straight in the eye and said, "Okay, I understand." And then he came up with all these other stories.
Wait, but what did you tell him? What story did you give him?
What we are talking about right now on this fucking panel. I told him everything that happened to me in 2009, and he was cool with it.
But
he didn't take my word for it. He had to go get a FOIA request and look it up more detail.
Right. Well, why wouldn't
What was
he?
the version you gave him?
Concerns if you're a fucking pedophile. Most people don't want to be associated with that.
You're mad. You're mad because he validated your story. Are you serious?
No, because usually it takes a real man
you want him to keep believing your bullshit. You got mad because he went and found the truth. You're upset about that.
You're mad because you told me to validate your story, so I did.
Wait. So you did exactly what he told you to do, and he got mad at that.
No, because
That's good.
He made himself the victim, and he thought that he was going to buy it. And so when people think that someone's buying the story, they say, go ahead and look for yourself, because they believe with confidence you won't, because you're just going to believe what they say because they offered the option for you to research yourself. And now he's mad at him for doing just that.
No, because when I fully disclosed myself prior to that, he obviously didn't trust me. So he had trust issues before.
Okay, you're a pedophile. No one should trust you. What is the version of events that you gave him?
Don't call me a pedophile. That's slander.
It's not, because you are a convicted pedophile. You pled guilty. You are a pedophile.
A pedophile is a person that goes out and hurts children. I'm not charged.
That is not true. It's someone with a sexual attraction to a prepubescent person is a pedophile.
That's right.
It's negative.
An infant is so far prepubescent, you have no fucking idea. Infants are closer to their mom's first period than theirs. So let's not get into the semantics of it.
No, there's no semantics. I mean, a pedophile literally is defined as someone who has a sexual attraction to prepubescent children.
Negative.
You're not even a
No, not negative.
Why are you saying negative?
Oh, no. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead. You want to look it up? You want to look up the definition? We can do this together.
Google it, Kate.
No context is required.
Kate's about to end up on the same list as this motherfucker.
At least he's not a herbophile.
Right. Here we go. You ready for it? You ready for it? Let's share this. I just looked it up on Google. Let's see what the first definition that comes up is. What is a pedophile? Pedophile. There you go. A person who is sexually attracted to children.
Okay.
Oops.
Any questions?
Okay, you pled guilty to having sexual images of children and accounts on child porn websites in your children's name, but we can't call you a pedophile? Dude, you're a pedophile.
Sounds pretty accurate to me.
Charged. You've been charged with it and admitted to it. I knowingly possessed. You admitted to it.
Jeff, Alex also brought up a good point that these websites were bookmarked on your laptop.
Okay.
Interesting about bookmarks. Bookmark is like if you had a really good book, you start to read it and you get tired and you're like, oh, you use that because I want to go back to this. I want to remember what this is. I'm really enjoying this. This is interesting to me. I want to come back to this in the future. That's what bookmark is for.
Yeah. So how do you explain that they were bookmarked on your computer?
I can't explain it because I didn't see it.
You
didn't know.
I never got to see it.
You just acknowledged that it was bookmarked on your computer.
Yeah.
Correct?
I'm not gonna acknowledge anything.
You just did.
Cops lie. I don't believe what the cops say.
It is
you just said it.
It had nothing to do with the fucking cops.
There's no
They
cops.
wrote it. The cops wrote it. I didn't write it.
Jeff, you just admitted it. I said Alex brought up a point that these were bookmarked on your laptop. You went, yeah.
From the evidence on the.
No, that's not what I said, Jeff. I said Alex brought up a point that these websites.
Where did you get that information from? If you don't mind me asking.
I got it from you just now.
It's in a report. It's in a report.
You literally just admitted it.
Because it says it in the paperwork. It was bookmarked.
I'm not reading.
So you just admit to whatever the fuck's in paperwork, dude? Like that's your defense here? Oh, crickets.
And going back to what I said before, why would you? And again, thank you, William Glory Hole. Why would you allocute to something you did not do? I would have been like, no, I'm not going to say I did this if I did not do it. Especially when it comes to child, maybe the robbery. But like I said, when it comes to child pedophile or sex crimes, I'd be like, nah, I ain't admitting to that.
No one in their right mind would. No innocent person would.
Well, I'll go ahead and ask the question I've asked before. See if he has. I haven't got an answer from other people on it, but what crime would you not admit to?
All of it.
But you did.
Right, you did.
What crime out there would you not say, yeah, I did that, being innocent, if you didn't do it? What is there a crime out there that you would say, yeah, no, that you would deny?
I'm not going to answer that.
If it's beyond pedophile, it's fucking pretty far anyway.
We have CH here from CHTY Audits. I don't know what he wants to say, but I'll give him a chance.
Well, I've got my mic muted because is there a lot of feedback coming from this right now?
No, you sound fine.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't even know why this guy came up here. I mean, he's not trying to clear his name at all. But I will say, I'm not saying that he is guilty or innocent, because honestly, like, I got to this party a little bit late. But I will say that it is common to plea to charges, especially when they're severe. Now, I don't know if he took a lesser charge as a plea or if he took the charge that was initially kind of given to him, because if he did, then I mean, I don't know what to say for him.
Well, I'm sure we'll have that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we already do have it. He pled to the charges as they were.
It was the original
that's,
charge.
I really don't know what to say for him. Then I don't know why he would do that. That makes no sense to me. I mean, you'd be just as well going to trial, you know, if you're gonna just plead to the charges they give you. But anyways, I'm like, okay, so I don't know the situation with the child stuff. You know, that sounds pretty grotesque, but I just want to say, you know, if this is an auditor, I'm ashamed of you. I heard you describe auditing, and you were like, I'm auditing the building. They're right. You know, an audit has to be about something. And what we're supposed to say to that is we're seeing if they're in compliance with the First Amendment, you numbskull. You make us sound like a bunch of idiots when you just sit there and trip over words. Don't go and do something if you don't know what it's all about. It just makes you look like you're jumping on a bandwagon.
It's ignorant.
Jeff, what level
It's
sex offender are
totally
you?
ignorant.
Jeff, what level sex offender are you?
What?
In my state, it's a 1.
Which is the highest, correct?
Nope, it's the lowest. Level 3 is the highest.
Okay. That's what I was asking, because it does differ from state to state.
Well, level 1 is least likely to reoffend. That's why when we tried to phone audit him, it was off-putting that he was not receptive.
Right. Yeah, that is a little bit off-putting. Have to agree with that.
So
All right, are we done here?
Jeff or not?
What?
Do you have a
All right,
laptop?
guys.
Do I have a laptop?
Jeff, do you have a laptop? Yes.
No.
So why is Bones lying about that then? Because he's made a statement 2 or 3 times with different things you've sent him via your laptop.
Well, he says no, but No Bones Press said at one point when they were talking and doing audits together that he had a laptop. So,
Right.
you know, it's hard to believe what this guy says. You know, he says that, you know, he's not on Facebook anymore. I just pulled up the through his email address that he put in the private chat, pulled up the group that he started. So that's not taken down. That whole Voices from Inside Out. Yeah, that's still available on Facebook.
Well, no shit. I can't shut it down because I don't control of it no more.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I call bullshit on that. On that.
What was his answer?
Huh?
What was your answer? You can't take it down because
I cannot take that group down because I don't have control of it anymore. I was the administrator of that account.
So you lost your administrative by whom? Who controls it?
I have no control of that account. The reason why it's still up.
Did you
Who has
relinquish it?
control then?
I mean, Inside Out, Voice of Inside Out is you. I mean, that's your deal. That's your gig. How did you lose?
That's my prison group.
How did you? That's your prison group.
Yeah.
Okay, but who
That's
has
not-
control of that group now then?
Whoever's in it now, but I'm not in it no more because my Facebook got deleted.
Right, but okay, so who has? So you started the group, is what you're saying, correct?
I started it, but then because I got deleted, I have no access to it now.
So then, if no one else has control of it, and you created that group, when you got deleted, if you were deleted, that group would be deleted as well.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's still up.
presumably because you're still on Facebook as a registered sex offender.
Negative. If I am, how come you guys can't find me?
Well, it sounds like we did. That's why we're asking.
Again, the group that I started is being controlled by other people on there. I can't control it anymore. That's the reason why it's still up.
Okay,
Not me.
Who did you give control to?
That's private.
You created it. You created it.
I gave
That's
permission.
private.
I gave permission for them to keep it going.
which came first?
I don't buy any of this.
Me either. You got your Facebook. You were deleted from Facebook. Which came first? You got deleted, then gave the permissions away, or did you? What were the sequence of events on that?
I've been deleted on Facebook multiple times.
That was
What for?
Because you're a pedophile.
Okay, and
you act like
Wow.
what? You're just cool. Oh,
Wow.
Worst response.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you for that. No, that was perfect timing. Thank you for that.
Everywhere,
Finally,
dude.
some
Why
truth.
would you do that? Like, God, like, I don't even know. Like, fuck, that is the worst answer I've ever heard. Like, no. And
what?
I'm
What?
a pedophile, and like, what the like? It's a badge of honor. You sick fuck.
What's your point?
Are you guys saying I
That's my
can't? Are
point.
you guys saying I can't have Facebook?
You shouldn't be on the fucking internet or around
Facebook
children
does
because
not
you're
permit-
sick.
Facebook does not permit registered sex offenders. They don't. It's their terms of service.
Oh, really?
Yes, it literally is.
Presumably, that's why you've been deleted so many times, correct?
The trolls did.
There's literally a report button, and it says "report registered sex offender."
Yeah. It's a
Okay,
violation.
so
It's a violation of my First Amendment.
it's not a violation of your First Amendment. You're
No, go ahead. No, please recite the First Amendment to me, please, right now.
It's from Facebook.gov.
You know, really, if you could please just recite the First Amendment.
The United States Supreme Court says basically we can have Facebook.
It does.
Who's we? Wait, no. Who is
Citation.
we?
Citation
Who is
needed.
we? Mr. Sutton, who is we?
People like us.
Who's people like
Cite
us?
the-
Because I'm not
cite-
like you, dude.
Cite the case.
Figure it out.
You're the one stating
Figure it out. Do you mean pedophiles, sex
Isn't a
offenders?
government entity.
No, what I'm asking you
No,
to do,
look it
Mr.
up.
Sutton,
United
please-
States Supreme Court passed a law where people like us can have Facebook.
Where?
And every time I
Who's
get
people
shut
like us? Who is people like us?
every time I get shut down, it's a violation of my rights.
What
Who
right?
is people like us?
It's not. It's not a violation of your rights. You have no understanding of the First Amendment. The First Amendment says the government can't pass a law abridging the freedom of speech. It doesn't say that Facebook can't not allow people that they don't want on their private platform. That is the most ignorant thing I've ever heard. It's like saying that somebody's
It is ignorant.
yeah, somebody
go
like
look it
it's
up.
like
It's
saying that
happening.
somebody doesn't want you saying the word like gay on their property, so that's a violation of your freedom of speech. Hell no, it's not. It's their property. They get to tell you what to do on their property all the time. So yeah, you shouldn't be a First Amendment auditor, dude. You probably
was a
shouldn't even
business.
come onto this panel.
It's like he wants a right to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm looking right here at Facebook.
Yeah, he wants a right to be in every private establishment.
So I'm just gonna show you. Hold on, because again, I like to show my work, Mr. Sutton. I just like to be transparent as possible with this. So I'm going to show you. This is straight from Facebook's website, and it says convicted sex offenders aren't allowed to use Facebook. If you see an account that may belong to a convicted sex offender, please report it to us. So I mean, there's no law that prohibits this. Clearly, it's right in their terms of service. You and people like you, ergo registered sex offender fucking pedophiles, cannot have Facebook accounts.
And for the record, I must apologize to Ham Sandwich. This is by far more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Thank you, Ham.
Yeah, shout out to Ham Sandwich. Shout out to Ham Sandwich, really.
And if I'm not mistaken, other social apps have followed suit, doing the same thing.
Does YouTube allow convicted sex offenders?
Right? I wonder. I'm going to look that up right now.
They're kind of different about that. Yeah, but Ham Sandwich might get nervous because I think even an attorney will tell you that you can even file a lawsuit against the Ham Sandwich or something like that. How's it go?
I believe Instagram is another one of them. Just to throw that out there.
So Jeff,
I believe Instagram is another one. So you can't have an Instagram either.
Oh, Kate, it says here that YouTube reserves the right to remove a creator's channel if they have been convicted of a sexually based offense and are on a sex offender registry.
Wow. That, are you serious? They reserve the right. Yeah, well, there you go. Wow, that's interesting.
Jeff, by your logic, the First Amendment, you're allowed to go to Chuck E. Cheese if Chuck E. Cheese says they don't want you in there.
Oh, I can go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so stupid, man.
I can go in there. I've taken my kids in there and everything. Everything's fine.
Right, but if they say they don't want you in there, then you gotta leave.
I have a question about you going into Chuck E. Cheese. On a scale of 1 to 10, how aroused do you become in the?
Oh my God, no, Kate.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You got mad at me.
Oh, we're beyond this guy, listen, I wanted to keep an open mind and reserve the possibility that this guy may present some evidence that would be compelling and suggest his innocence. We're way past that point. Like, this guy, I mean, not only has he admitted to sufficient facts and admitted that he's guilty, but everything that comes out of his mouth, it clearly sounds guilty as fuck. So, I mean, like, we're beyond that point. Like, I know at this point that you are at least half chubbed when you go into a Chuck E. Cheese, and fuck you for that very much. Fuck you for that very much.
So you're saying that Chuck E. Cheese is his version of Plenty of Fish?
Yeah, it's pretty gross, but probably.
This has been an
Chuck E.
awesome
Cheese
and
is
awful night.
Chuck E. Cheese is his version of a strip club, not
Oh my
not
God.
no internet site.
And that's horrifying, but it's probably fucking accurate. I mean, honestly, dude, like, what kind of person are you that you downloaded images of infants being raped? Like, that's like, I can forgive a lot of things in life, but that is just like beyond the pale.
I mean,
what the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously.
And he kept them long enough to be discovered. I mean, it wasn't like, holy shit, even in the worst days, you're like, oh, let me get rid of that. Or we just showed up, delete. He didn't even delete it, kept it.
We got some serious Republicans in here. Holy shit. They should have took the case.
Well,
I'm still stuck on the fact that you are like unabashedly a pedophile. Like you admitted to it and you have no defense to why you get erections from infants and young kids.
Is that what you think?
You admitted to it.
It's what you admitted to.
I'm talking about the erection, sweetheart.
Why else
Okay,
do you
so
have the
you-
images? Please explain it to us.
Go ahead and try to prove to me on this panel that I get erections over that. Go ahead. I'll wait.
I
Why
don't
are
care
you
if you
visiting
got
kitty
erectile
porn sites and
dysfunction.
making? Why are you making accounts in your kids' names on kitty porn sites, dude?
I think I've answered
That's
your
not for
guys'
sexual
question.
pleasure. What were you doing? Do you want to be a pediatrician? What the fuck's going on?
That's funny.
No, it's not. That's the thing, is it's not funny at all, bro.
Anyways, are we
like-
done? Are we done here? I got better things to do right now. So are we
And
done
what?
here?
Download more images of children being sexually assaulted? Is that what you have to do right
this
now?
ain't a fucking airport. You don't need to fucking declare when you're fucking departing. If you're gonna depart, motherfucker.
Right? If you're gonna go.
I'm gonna take off too. I'm declaring my departure right now. I'm gonna thanks, Kate.
No one
Thanks,
gives a
everybody. Take
fuck.
care. And good.
Oh,
good,
not you.
Good,
I thought it was
and good
him.
job, Jeffrey. Good job, babe. Take care. Peace.
The one thing I promise you, Jeff, is no, this is not done. It's just begun, buddy.
Do what?
This is not done with. It's just begun. I promise you that.
I'll be here.
We'll see.
In fact, I think I told you that the first time you were on panel. Like, this ain't over.
No shit,
Just
Sherlock.
continue going on and 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 on. And I for sure will be one of the ones here in the fucking end sitting here going, I told you so.
No shit, fat fuck. Noted.
Oh, I'm okay with being called a fat fuck. One way or the other, asshole, fat fuck. I don't give a shit. Call me what you like. But one way or the other, at the end of the day, I still told you so.
Well,
I would rather be fatter than the fattest person alive than to be a fucking convicted pedophile.
Yeah,
like,
how about
I
that?
would literally rather die
Good
of
point.
obesity.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah,
And at the end, I'll be telling
a retro
So
sex
it's all
offender.
good.
Are you rage quitting now, or
Rage
Do what now?
quit.
are you gonna rage quit now, or what?
No, I got shit to do, man. I don't have time for it.
Yeah,
I gotta
so-
cut in and say goodnight,
Yeah, you keep
guys. I
saying
gotta
that
get my
shit.
kids to bed. Thanks for letting me ask my questions and having the time. Y'all have a good night.
Anytime, CH. Good to see you.
It's
God
not.
bless
It's
Later,
not
bro.
CH.
Don't let independent dash auditor near them. It would be my suggestion.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, at least we all agree on that. What the fuck's wrong with you? you. He's like, that's why he's just like, yeah, you should not let me around your children. Fuck. It's not funny.
It's not funny. Why the fuck are you laughing, you fucking psychopath?
If I can get a rise out of you guys over this nonsense, man, I'm not going to change shit and thing. I'm going to keep doing it and be a major thorn in your sides.
Oh, you're not a thorn on our side.
Yeah, I was fixing to say.
We side with evidence and your own admissions.
Right.
Kudos.
Kudos, that's what you should do. That's what the court does too.
You do realize you gave us about 8 different sound clips of you admitting you've done this.
At this point, I was like, you guys don't care.
Like, you didn't even try to save yourself. You could have said, yes, I'm a convicted pedophile. Instead, you just said, yes, I'm a pedophile.
And you were proud of it. You kept saying people like us, like it's some special fucking group you belong to.
Oh, what's a special group, all right?
Do you have
It's
like
a fucking South Park episode.
Something
yeah.
like that.
Do you get jackets in this club, or like what the fuck?
I feel like they would have leather vests like a motorcycle gang, but it just says I get hard for kids on the back.
Stick around and find out.
What are we gonna find out? So I'm fucking around right now, Jeff. What am I gonna find out?
Just stick around and find out.
What am
An
I gonna find
infant
out?
can't whoop your ass, but I bet anyone up here could. So I don't know what you're trying to say.
I think our friends are watching right now. Is that accurate, Shiz?
Yes, they are.
All right, I think you're probably gonna fuck around and find out very shortly. Like,
I think
oh man,
write your appeal.
For the last time.
Someone's asking, can we report his channel? I mean, I guess you can. Yeah, I can't tell you you can't.
Do what you gotta do.
No one's here to tell you what to do.
Do what you gotta do. Be a superhero.
No, you're right. You're right. It is ridiculous to take exception to someone who sexually victimizes children.
I didn't victimize anybody. You got that wrong.
Oh no, you got the pictures of it. That's victimizing them.
Yeah.
Nope, that's incorrect.
It's not.
You've already admitted they were on your computer. You can't go back from there.
Dude, infants, you're
Okay,
fucking, you're broken.
It's a non-violent crime. Look it up.
Holy fuck! You did not just say that.
You think that those kids and that infant didn't experience any violence to make the pornography you were beating your fucking pedo dick to? You fucking piece of shit.
Sure.
Oh my god, I wanted to not hate you. I really walked into that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Real quick, to those of you that would be interested in this, I'm going to, because this first panel that he was on was like 7 hours long. I'm going to cut down the original panel to pretty much just the part where he was on, and I'm going to repost it on one of my channels, or maybe all of them, because I know, Mr. Sutton, you're going to try to flag that again, but once again, you're not going to be successful in getting all of them down. So stay tuned, everyone. I'm definitely in this for the long haul.
Jeff, when was the last time CPS interviewed you? I'm just curious.
Never have.
They never have?
No, they don't have no reason.
I couldn't understand what he said.
I said they don't have no reason.
Yeah, he's all muffled.
Oh, they have no reason to, except you're saying there's no victims with child pornography.
Right. If there's victims, get a hold of them, and I'll say sorry to them myself.
That's a weird flex.
Yes, we would put you in the same room as the infant that was sexually abused to make your porn.
Right.
That seems like a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
Because you can't find the victim.
Oh my god.
You don't consider the
Dude,
infant that was
honestly, if you were
sexually
in front
abused
of me
to
right
produce
now,
images as a victim?
If there's anybody in chat right now that still believes this motherfucker is fucking innocent, I swear to God, just give him your kid. Give him your fucking kid.
No. I have
Holy
no doubt in
fuck.
my mind that you
Yeah,
probably
you sound
have
like a
ton of kitty
gigantic
porn
piece
right
of
now.
shit right
Yeah.
now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
really trying, but
honestly,
like, what the
if
fuck?
you said that,
Anyways, are we
man,
done here?
he doesn't hang around any other men because if
You know, Kate's
We're
usually
losing you.
the reason out of all of us, and you've even turned Kate.
CH, you're really clipping
said
out
that
here,
in the
but I mean,
presence of a real
I don't
touched
know.
them, they would.
I didn't get anything he said.
Oh my God, are
He's-
you on TikTok? Jeff, are you on TikTok?
I can't hear you guys.
Are you on TikTok?
Are you on TikTok?
Hold on, real quick, Kate. I forgot about this. Your buddy AFA sent me a message. He said, tell Kate I'll pay to have a lie detector test done this week for him, if allowed.
I heard that once before. What happened with that?
Okay, answer the question. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not going to answer that.
That's a yes.
Holy fuck, dude.
That violates terms of.
Do you understand?
I'm going
Registered
to.
sex offenders are not allowed access to platforms where a majority or a decent amount of children are, or
Why
minors.
are you on TikTok? For what purpose?
I'm not going to answer that.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Is it to beat off to kids, you sick
We're
piece
done
of
here.
shit?
We're done here. You are a
Yeah.
sick fuck. You are a sick fuck. We are done here.
We're not done with
Why?
you, but we're done here.
Yeah, Kate, I thought, are we going to talk about Chili after this? Because, I mean, I get it. That guy is a complete piece of shit, but I
I'm
feel
like shaking right
I feel like
now.
if we don't talk about Chili, it's a little bit.
Just so you know, Kate, this is why people have been asking for you to do the show on this guy.
I'm
quite honestly,
fucking
this
shocked and
person's been-
disgusted.
Ham Sandwich has been hammering Kate and I for fucking 5 months. Do this guy, do that. Like, okay. And
Sorry,
finally,
Ham.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, Steve. I get it. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know if I've encountered. He literally just pretty much
CH your mic.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but there's a lot of road noise.
Mute?
What were you saying, Kate?
I've been doing this a long time. I don't know if I've ever encountered a registered sex offender who tells me, yeah, so what if I'm on TikTok? Why are you on there? I don't have to answer that.
And gloats about it. And there's no victims in child pornography.
I'm fucking shook right now. John Hanzo, get the fuck out of here. No one should ever entertain any sex offenders bullshit.
It's just Hanzo. Hanzo has a vested interest in just shitting on everything I do, and that's fine. Whoa. Where do we even go from there?
I don't know what to do with my life right now.
I think we make a report to every platform we can and show evidence of what this person's about by his own admissions during this interview. And the fact that CPS has never interviewed this guy or his family is very fucking disturbing.
So yeah, on that note, I guess if you had some comments on Chili, I'm probably gonna come back. Probably come back for a more detailed sort of stream on Chili's lies and his since deleted but I mean, if you have some comments on Chili that you want to share right now before I kill the stream, that's fine.
Well, before you kill the stream, I just want to say that, a lot of people ask me the question, like, how do you deal with people like whatever his name was, Jeff, I think, because I'm a stout defender of anarchy. And in my system, in anarchy, I mean, what would you do if the government told you couldn't actually, like, go and do something about this guy? I mean, I know for certain I would go and take care of this motherfucker myself.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I think that anarchy is a great system, because in this system, the government actually affords protections to people like him. He knows he's going to be fine. If anybody comes and tries to, redress their grievances with Jeff, like maybe one of the kids that got raped when they were 1 or 2 heard him talking and wants to go and talk to this guy themselves, Jeff could ask the government to come and protect him. And I just hate that so much. I just think that people like that need to be dealt with outside of the spectrum of government, because there's no legal system that's actually going to get justice. A guy who goes and watches videos of kids getting abused before they can even think for themselves, and he says there's no victim, there's something wrong with that person. And there's just no defending it. The shock that you guys are experiencing is probably warranted. I just would like to know, Kate, you probably know, did that guy go to prison?
Not a substantial sentence, of course, because I feel like
his plea deal was very close to the usual sentencing for that charge, so he didn't even get much of a reduction at all.
He didn't even go to prison. He went to jail.
I would like to ask, well, if he didn't go to prison, then nothing probably happened. But I was going to ask him if he was still up here, how many times he got the shit beat out of him. But that wouldn't really happen too much in county unless he was in one of the bigger counties. But all right,
Yeah,
Kate, thanks for hosting this.
He has the cockiness of someone who hasn't had their ass beat.
And I didn't realize, CH, until like yesterday that whoever I had that, I'm remiss to call it a debate. I felt like it was more of a discussion, but the first time that we had a discussion, I didn't recognize the channel and they had actually reached out to me. Just so we're clear, I'm happy to do that anytime with you. I just, my 9 to 5 keeps me tied down like the fucking exorcist. So like Eastern Standard Time, 9 to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, I'm working, I commute home, and then my evenings get a little bit dicey because I got kids. But anytime, if I have a little bit of notice, sir, I'm happy to do it again.
I'll shoot you an email, Kate, if you check that info at I'm
going to put my cell phone number in the private chat too, so you have that.
Okay, sounds good. So, and I'll just ask you to give me a date and time, and then I'll just fit my schedule to yours.
All right. I'm always down for a good debate.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for having me up, and thanks for exposing that guy, because that's disgusting. I'm going to head out.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
I need a shower.
Right.
Yeah.
Later
my
on,
brain's
guys.
fucked right now.
I mean, Kate especially, we've probably viewed hundreds of people talking about Huntle. That dude was probably the biggest piece of shit anyone we're talked to on any stream.
Yeah, I know. I was not expecting some of the responses that I got there.
My throat is burning from all the puking in the back of my throat I was doing. And poor Kate, thank you. She kept texting me and telling me to wait because I wanted to flip out from jump.
I wanted to give him a fair shot. I have a message not to forget the super chats. Thank you very much. My God, I'm terrible with that. All right. I'm going to go read through. Thank you guys. Anyone who has contributed to the stream, your generous support continues to allow us to get the worst answers from sex offenders that you could possibly imagine. So thank you for financing this horror show. Grandma Sunshine Dragon for $5 said, sex offender auditing CPS. Sickening. Did he plead guilty? Yes. Yes. Joshua Lee for $10. Question: what is the time frame between getting the laptop and the burglary? If the images were there from the previous owner, why wasn't this reported as soon as it was discovered? Joshua, I saw that and I did address it, and obviously he can't really give us a time frame, but the police figured that the images were downloaded 3 months after he reports that he bought it. So riddle me that. Emotional support headphones. The sound is Pinocchio Chomo having to saw his nose off because it keeps growing. Yeah.
Maybe that'll help me right now. I need to go put some headphones on to feel better.
I don't feel good about this at all. Glenn Mack for $2. Yeah, I slowed down chat just for you, Glenn. I did see that. Thank you very much. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker, Dutch Doyle. Always appreciated. Emotional support headphones, $19.99. I saw this too. They didn't have AirDrop in 2009. I did vet that out. So thank you for that. Emotional support headphones for $49.99. Yep, this is a good summary of the stories. It was already on the hard drive. Number 2, someone airdropped it. Number 3, the cops planted it. Pick a story, dude. He can't. The good summary of that, though. Ed, thank you for the $10. Oh, by the way, shout out to Ed2276, guys. You know what Ed did for me? I didn't even realize this. He adopted a great white shark for me. And he named it Chili, so that Chili the great white shark can be tracked all across the oceans like a great white shark. Shout out to Ed. I'm gonna put that adoption certificate on my community page. I'm actually printing it out and I'm going to frame it and put it in my bedroom. So every night before I go to bed, I can remember how my dear friend Ed adopted a shark for me after Chili took me to court for tracking him like a great white shark. So I appreciate that. $2 Stephen Alley Blue Bacon. I didn't know Blue Bacon wanted to come on. The link was out there. Blue, why didn't you hit the link? Jesus, you got to move faster than that, buddy. Grift Cat for $5 put Blue Bacon on the panel. Listen, the link was out there. He didn't even come up. Awesome Tom Matt. How many years if you didn't take the plea deal? I don't know. We're gonna pull the whole thing.
I sent it to you. In Washington State, that charge is usually 12 to 16 months, and he claims he did 18.
The ungodly one, if he is innocent of the charges, why didn't he say I'm innocent and I'm going home? Innocent until proven guilty. What was the maximum charge they had against him? That 12 to 14 months. $2 bring Blue Bacon up on Blue. Why didn't you hit the fucking link, bro? West B $1.99. There's TikTok. Yes, it's pretty gross. West B said it again. Thanks. Listen, you guys don't have to pay to those like kind of messages. We usually will see. So I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Don't ever feel like you have to pay to get attention for that, because we are always monitoring the chat. If you guys say something pertinent, it's absolutely fine to do that for free. Steven for $2. Kate is actually physically sick. Yeah, I hear a lot of fucked up shit, guys. Sort of where I exist on the internet. That was fucked. I'm gonna have a hard time.
An unabashed pedophile is disgusting.
Right. NH Chicky for $20. Rarely these days do I hear people speak up against these people. Thank you. Listen, PK Server, Navin Johnson, the Frog, Authority Check Presents, even Josh Abrams. They've been doing this since October of 21, my friends.
And Alex. Don't forget Alex.
That's PK Server, but yes, Alex. All right. And Michael Bowen for $20. Kate tied down. I'm in. Listen, you can't hold a scumbag like me down. All right.
Peacock's gotta fly. Can't hold a peacock back. Cam sandwich, great.
Before we kill this, Jeff has things that he wants to say. I'm going to give Jeff 2 minutes.
I gotta go. Thanks for having me up, Kate. I'll talk to you.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey guys, so I have been chomping at the bit. I wanted to get my hands on this guy and ask him some questions. Because number one, I have a feeling that, and my main question was going to be, where was the laptop in the car? Because I'm willing to bet he had that car set up with the regular laptop frame like you see cop cars with, as part of his impersonating a cop thing.
It was in the back seat. It says that in the charging document.
Okay, does it? Because if he had it set up in the frame, that would have been absolute probable cause for them to search that laptop. So his allegations of, well, they didn't have, plus, what are you so worried about them finding on this laptop?
They did have a warrant for the laptop.
Yeah, but they went and got a warrant for the laptop. And the first thing he went and complained about was my Fourth Amendment rights. Why are you so worried about your Fourth Amendment rights if you've got nothing on the laptop? And number three, he never once touched on the police investigation of that laptop. It's what they call a, computer forensic, wait for the keyword, folks, audit. Since we all know he doesn't understand what the word audit meant, I was more than willing to point out to him that what they did.
The offer was out there to audit his phone to see if he's still into kids, and he avoided it like the
actually
plague.
on the charging documents, at least for Washington anyway, they're referring to it as a forensic analysis. It's not audit.
They'll call it an analysis or audit. My brother used to do a bunch of them when he was a lead investigator for the New York State Police. So I know, I used to hear stories about this stuff all the time. I grew up in a police family, so I'm an ex-MP myself. So I'm like, okay, if you're saying that, this was on there from the previous owner, why didn't you provide the emails about the sale through Craigslist so that they can track down the date at Craigslist because they can get a warrant for that information to Craigslist. You don't provide any of this stuff. You're just like, I think a magic rabbit, crossed his bunny ears and these pictures just suddenly appeared on my laptop. No, it doesn't work like that.
What? I would be more apt to buy the picture story if he didn't have child porn websites registered to his children.
Exactly.
All this was addressed anyway. He couldn't answer questions about that. There was metadata that was pulled from the pictures. It was determined that the pictures were downloaded 3 months after what he reports to be the date of sale.
But did you notice something else? Something very telling about the words he used when he talked about, afterwards. I've done everything the court wanted me to do. Why do you sound so ticked off that you did something you would normally be doing anyway to prove your innocence and sound so annoyed about that? I did everything the court made me do. You people are harassing me about it. I don't know.
It was casually admitting to being a pedophile to me. Him saying us, people like us.
Yeah,
fucking
and
gross.
It's pretty gross. I need a shower and some mouthwash.
And did you catch what he said about his wife when he sat there? Go back and listen to it later on. But when you guys were talking to him about his wife, and he's like, and unfortunately, my wife is still with me even through all this. You said, unfortunately, you little Freudian slip rat bastard.
I asked him if he uses his TikTok to masturbate to underage kids, and he couldn't answer that question.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, you let it slip that you don't want your wife to be with you still. So what's that say?
I don't
know. No, she aged out of the program.
There was so many words that he was using that when you've done the research, when you've done the investigations that I used to have to do as an MP and the training that you've had, you sit there and you look on not just what they say, how they say it, what words they use when they say it. All of that was just coming up with all of the red flags that he doesn't even realize he's tripping over his own feet with.
Sure. Okay, guys. So I'm going to kill this stream because it's been going on a long time. We have some questions. I know that Michael over here, hold on, go back to this. Michael RS is asking what level he is. I mean, according to his registration, they're saying he's a level 1, presumably because there's no physical victim. I'm going to pull some more information on this. I don't think we're done with it yet. I do apologize to anyone who wanted to move on to Chile. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We're going to have to come back to Chile, which means I'm going to schedule a stream for tomorrow night. And we're going to talk about all the bullshit that Chile spewed too. He's
deleted lives.
Yeah, I apologize. That was a clickbait title, and I didn't mean to. I meant to get to it, and that just really spiraled out of control. And at this point, honestly, like I am disgusted beyond belief, and I probably honestly need to just go take a hot bath or something. I'm not even kidding. Like that. Very few things upset me, but some of the stuff that we were talking about with that guy and his reaction to it actually really upset me. So I'm going to kill the stream. Thanks for joining us, guys. Authority Check. Always good to see you as usual.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, of course.
So I was asked in the chat about the video from the panel that we did, because we did 2 panels, and I can't remember the date on one of them, so I'll have to find that. But the one that I sent to you earlier is actually uploaded and unlisted at the moment. If I enlist it right now, everybody can go watch that. I'm gonna try to put some time stamps in, so that way y'all can kind of fast forward to the part that we're talking about, because like I said, the stream is 7 hours long. I don't want to bore y'all guys with that. But if it's okay with Kate, I dropped it in the private chat. And like I said, I'll unlist it so that y'all guys can go watch it. But this was one of the first panels that we had done with him, at least since me and Nave and John. Well, I can't say Nave and John, but me and a couple of the First Amendment guys kind of got involved with it. And, so we're not professionals like Kate is here, where she fucking got him going for a good minute. But I mean, I think we did an okay job. We got him to kind of contradict himself a bunch of times, and we got him lying on a bunch of stuff. And you'll see it from that interview to the interview that he does here. There's inconsistencies. You can't trust this guy at all whatsoever. So if that's okay with you, Kate, like I said, I dropped the
Yeah, I'm
link
sharing
in the
link
private
right
chat.
now. I'm sharing the link right now. I'm sharing Discord too. I'm like, ugh.
And honestly, Kate, can I just say bravo for the first hour? I mean, everybody in the public chat was screaming at you to just tear the guy's head off. And I knew exactly where you were going with it. You wanted to give him his opportunity to basically paint himself into the corner, give him every opportunity to explain himself, and then move in for the kill is basically how it felt. And I was like, everybody let her get to what she wants to do, how she wants to do it. But you did it brilliantly.
Yeah, it looks like Blue wants a link. I'll go like. Oh man, guys, I'm struggling tonight. I'm gonna put the link for Blue, I guess, real quick because, holy fuck, I don't even know. I like
this was rough.
It was really rough, actually.
This one was a rough one for you. I totally, I know that.
Kate did handle it brilliantly because I was so ready to like flip out on the guy, and then he just ended up admitting that he is sexually attracted to kids, and now I lost faith in humanity. So
can I tell you, in my years when I was with the MPs in the Army and watching police interviews over the years, you did it exactly how a professional would do it. You led him to where you wanted to take him, and he was walking along the path just fine on his own until he realized it wasn't where he wanted to be.
Well, I mean, and I try not to lead is what I try not to do. Yeah, I really try not to lead because I do have an interest in hearing every single aspect of a story and kind of developing my opinion based on that. So, I mean, at any point, I guess there was the opportunity to drop some bombshell exonerating information that just unfortunately did not come to fruition. I only say unfortunately because I would love to live in a world where people like this just don't exist, but that's clearly not plausible. Blue Bacon.
I mean, Blue will probably agree with me as a fellow MP as well.
Hey, what's up, fellow MP, bro?
You were trying to be middle of the road because that path could have led him either direction, but his answers were what dictated where he was going in that conversation.
Yeah, he a lot of deflection, and that's, as you know, a clear sign of not necessarily a lie, but deception for sure. We're going somewhere he doesn't want to go. At that point, you really got to be real direct and say, we're not moving past this until you give me something. And that something could be, I'm just not going to answer that. And then you move on and go, okay. But he, at the end of it, really dug himself in the corner, and all he had left was, well, who cares? I don't feel like I hurt anybody.
It's not even a corner. He admitted to it.
Oh yeah, no.
He basically wore a sign that says I'm a fucking pedophile. He
his
wasn't in
answers,
any corner.
an innocent person would have reacted differently. After all that time, you'd see him getting angrier and angrier and angrier. That's your standard response. And him saying, "Can I leave? Can I go?" Like, no, leave. If you're upset by this, just go. But he still wanted to stay and try to, win. It wasn't like, I'm innocent, screw you guys, I know what happened. It was more, you're saying things I don't like that you're saying them. That was basically the response. And that's not I'm innocent. It's not necessarily I'm guilty, but that's very much a
he enjoyed the negative attention.
I don't know if that's the image I want to be presenting, regardless of whether or not it is the correct image. And him saying, like, he'd just be like, oh, okay. That's not how someone who has not done it would be expected to respond. There was a lot where he's just, so I'm going to look into this as well. I'm going to go back. I didn't see all of this. I sort of popped in the middle. But I've picked out some files I'm going to be requesting from the court. I put them in the Discord. So if we're double dipping, essentially, if you're getting stuff that I'm also getting, and you want to coordinate to reduce how much we're both going for, if you're going for anything, if you intend to come back to this after.
Well, I have quite a bit already as far as charging documents and court documents go. What I've put in for in the course of actually this stream while you heard me typing away is I just put in a request for the actual police report.
And the thing that gets me about him was when he was sitting there saying, well, yes, these people may be victims of sexual abuse, but they're not my victims, but they are victims.
No, he said it. He literally said child porn is a victimless crime.
And then doesn't have
wrong answer.
And then he doesn't have the slightest bit of morals or feelings about, well, yeah, they're victims of sexual abuse, and I don't mind going into CPS and videotaping victims of sexual abuse. That's what got me the most.
But he didn't say that though.
He was justifying going into CPS, and then later on in
I
the
don't know that I
conversation,
heard any justification. I heard a lot of bumbling around,
Well,
offering a concise.
it was his excuses to
specific-
why he does it.
Well, I mean, he just couldn't really answer what he was auditing for, as far as I'm concerned. But
Because I heard him mention, I have the right to go into CPS, but then later on acknowledges that's that the people who are in these photos and videos could very well be in that CPS office. If you're walking around with that in your mind, why are you in there?
that part of the conversation, but okay. Yeah, I just think that he was somebody who couldn't answer why he was there or what he was auditing for, which I think is important. Like, if you're doing something, that it's good to be able to answer specifically what you're doing. But
you got to know your mission.
Yeah, you got to have a very, as Chili would say, you got to have a mission in life. You got to have a mission. What's your mission?
Oh, he knows what his mission is. He just knows that it's not a good mission.
Yeah.
It's not something that will be accepted.
And nor does he care.
Yeah.
I never thought pedophiles would be so casual about being pedophiles. I'm so disgusted.
Crypto Crackhead, I believe we did get your email. I'm really slow to answer emails, and I apologize for that. I'm just, hot mess express 95% of the time. So, yeah, that was quite the. I mean, I just don't even know. I'm so.
It feels like you ran a marathon or like one of those mud runs.
I just really.
We just did pedophile Tough Mudder.
I mean, and I've dealt with like Cyrax, who I am fairly convinced is a pedophile, given the amount of times that he has been caught engaging with what he believes to be children in a sexual manner. I just don't even. I haven't heard many people that unapologetic about it in my lifetime. Yeah, the ungodly one is saying, when I buy a laptop, I tell the seller to factory reset it. I mean, I don't know about every single private laptop sale that goes on. I've bought used laptops in the past. I've never bought one that hasn't been factory reset. I'm not saying that is necessarily the case here, but it's kind of negated by the fact that upon forensic investigation, they determined that those images were downloaded after the transfer of ownership. So that kind of, and he acknowledges this, that's the thing is he when pressed on it, he acknowledges this. So these are facts that are not in dispute by anyone. It's just really bad. I mean, I wish he would consider the option of having his penis removed. That would be fantastic.
Can I respond to something in chat?
Absolutely can.
Real quick, if somebody asked about if I'm buddy with Earl, I'm not buddies with Earl. I think in somewhere in the conversation, we were not trying to let him. We were trying not to get Jeff thinking about sexual assault yet, because we didn't tell him why he was on our panel. So I say, I say something along the lines of we were hanging out with our good buddies, News Now Patrick and News Now Houston, and this and this. So I think I say that somewhere on the panel. But once again, that was not to alarm him that we're about to have a conversation about sexual assault and pornographic material and pedos and shit like that. To those that do know, I've recorded with News Now Houston, but I don't support the guy, and I haven't talked to him in a long time. So I don't hide any of my shit. I don't need to hide my shit. I'm pretty honest about the stuff that I do. If you watch my show, y'all guys would kind of know that.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
It's mad.
Yeah. Me and Kate, we've talked about it. I always give credit to the trolls because the trolls are, and maybe this is probably why I'm more associated with the troll community now than ever. The trolls are the ones that gave me all the court documents and everything for News Now Houston. And they're the ones that made me read it. And after I read it, I just couldn't be around the guy. I have kids. I have to think about my family. And if I couldn't trust somebody like that around my family, I just couldn't. Why am I out recording with the guy?
Right.
So I don't support the guy.
I don't want people like that.
I'm okay
living
with
in my
it.
zip.
Yeah.
God, what a bummer tonight. So yeah, we'll come back tomorrow. As soon as I jump off of here, I'm gonna schedule the Chili stream because Chili's been deleting fucking videos left and right here, but we actually have them all. He should probably know this by now, but I guess he's kind of new to the game. You can delete something, but we're gonna have it like immediately. I have a lot of talented people around my circle.
I gotta wonder how long Chili actually toughed it out to this live stream today before he realized we weren't going to be talking about him and left.
Yeah, I feel like a douche for all the people that were here before that, so I apologize. It can't be all Chili all the time, though, although he has given us more material to work with. We'll deal with that tomorrow, though. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go hit my head against a wall, scrub my skin, cry to my spouse, and, continue with my sort of investigation into fucking Jeffrey Russell Sutton piece of shit that he is. Hallelujah. That was a Justin Emo Howling Wolf quote, if anyone didn't catch that. But yeah, I don't even know. Very rarely am I lost for words, but I'm just fucking lost for words right now. You never know what you're going to get here. It's a box of chocolates at the
I'm ashamed to share the same first name as that guy.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah. No, I said, no, Jesse, I said cry to my spouse. I might fire him too. I don't know. But just in general, I'm going to decompress from this. I'm going to kill the stream. I will talk to you guys soon. If you haven't joined our Discord, you should probably do that, I guess. Maybe. I don't fucking know. Join the Discord.
And I say I actually just joined Discord for the first time the other night because of you, Kate.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for letting me on the show.
Absolutely.
You guys, everybody have a great night.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
I'm ending this right now. And